This is the WB11, New York's Yankees baseball station.
Through its rich history, Yankee pitching has provided a host of memories. Allie Reynolds' 7 shutouts in 1951. Don Larson's perfect performance in 1956. The chairman, Whitey Ford, leads all Yankees with 236 wins. Ron Guidry rode lightning to 25 wins and the Cy Young. A 4th of July no-hitter stands out among Dave Righetti's 522 appearances. But as the world turns, the Yankees' search for new pitching talent to add to their history has gone global. Hideki Irabu has averaged almost 9 strikeouts per 9 innings in his Japanese career. He looks at home in Yankee pinstripes and has performed well in his minor league travels. But tonight is the real deal, and the Yankees hope this game will be a continuation of great pitching memories. The wait is over. The debut of Irabu is next.
Live from the WB11, this is New York Yankees baseball.
From Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, WB11 Sports proudly presents New York Yankees baseball. Tonight, the Yankees face off against the Detroit Tigers. The starting pitchers for tonight's game are Omar Olivares for the Tigers and the long-awaited debut, Hideki Irabu for the Yankees. This about 3:30 this afternoon as Irabu arrives here at Yankee Stadium. Lots of security, and the fans just love him. He's never pitched a game in the major leagues, but they're here to greet him, along with just truck after truck, as this game will be beamed all around the world, especially in Japan. Some estimates are about 40 million households will be watching this debut of Hideki Irabu. Hello, everybody. I'm Bobby Mercer along with Ken Singleton, and welcome to New York Yankees baseball here on the WB11. Finally, it has arrived. I mean, it has been an event working up to this day. Hideki Irabu is here. I played in the World Series. You played in the World Series. All-Star games. I have really never seen anything like this.
Well, Bobby, when you look at the stadium tonight, it is energized. There's going to be a big crowd on hand to see the debut of Hideki Irabu, somebody the Yankee fans have heard a lot about, but they have never seen before. So Irabu will bring his 95-mile-per-hour fastball with him tonight against the Detroit Tigers. Here's a guy who over in Japan pitched very well on his way to Yankee Stadium. Irabu led the league in strikeouts twice, the Pacific League in Japan, also led the league in ERA on a couple of occasions. As I mentioned, a 95-mile-an-hour fastball to go along with a splitter that's in the high 80s or the low 90s. Then he came over to work for the Yankees in the minor leagues, first at Tampa, had a lot of strikeouts, very few base on balls, showed excellent control, moved on up in the Yankee farm system before finally getting to Norwich and then to Columbus, before now pitching tonight at Yankee Stadium.
Well, you take a look at the numbers of the long-awaited debut. 6 minor league starts. One significant number is only 1 walk in 31 innings pitched for a power pitcher. That is pretty darn good, but he's got 7 balks, so we'll take a quick look at a close eye of that. Well, I know you're not nervous, but will Hideki Irabu be nervous tonight?
He might be a little nervous, Bobby. I would think anytime you pitch in front of a big crowd at historic Yankee Stadium, you might have the jitters inside.
Well, many people will be around him the next few days, including of all of his teammates, and we had a chance to talk to them, and here's what they had to say.
The numbers that you see on his stats are very impressive. I mean, this is, you know, the high 90s or middle 90s, and then the 80s, high 80s for splitter. I mean, that's pretty big stuff. And I'm anxious, basically, to get this first day over with, but I'm also curious to, you know, to see how it translates out here, although maybe today may not be a good barometer for him. But maybe, you know, he goes out there and he could crank up a great game, and then we'll realize that there's nothing that's ever going to bother this guy, which is fine with me.
I think he can compare to a lot of the top pitchers in the league. He's got, you know, an overpowering fastball. He's got a 90-mile-an-hour, 92-mile-an-hour split finger that he can wipe a hitter out with. He throws a curveball and a straight change, and all of them are pluses. He throws strikes. He can reach back and heat a battle and go after a hitter. So those are all qualities of a successful pitcher.
Well, Hideki's pitched in a lot of big ball games, I'm sure, in his career. I think more than anything, he probably feels the pressure of representing his country. But I don't doubt that he'll do a very good job, very similar to what Nomo did representing his country. because he's got great stuff. And, you know, he's pitched in big games in Japan. I'm sure he's been nervous before games, and tonight shouldn't be much different for him.
Well, this is at a press conference as Irabu was signed. Now he works his way up the minor leagues as he prepares for his debut this evening, making 6 minor league starts. And finally getting a chance to pitch to Joe Girardi on the All-Star break as he struck out many in the minor leagues. We'll have to wait to see what he does here tonight. There's Mel Olivares working with Hideki Irabu and the Yankees bullpen preparing for his debut tonight. Stay with us. We're going to have it here on the WB11.
Turn around, please, sir.
Okay.
Do you have anything in your pockets? Turn around one more time, please.
Hey, when you took my keys.
Put your hands
That guy's got my keys.
Sir, put your hands back up.
I'm sorry. Okay.
You're all right.
You got my keys.
Watch out. Once the crave gets you, it's got you. Now get a 32-ounce drink and you got a cool cup. Free. White Castle.
Look out for what Johnson here. We're gonna try to do it again this year. Sit right down, put on the TV. It's time for Yankees on MSG. Y-A-N, everybody. Y-A-N, do it now. Y-A-N, Yankee baseball on MSG. Y-A-N-K, Yankee baseball on MSG.
Well, back at Yankee Stadium, we are about ready to go as Irabu has finished his warm-up tosses to Joe Girardi. As you take a look at Irabu's numbers in his 6th minor league start. Pretty impressive. But this is the big league. It will be different. And he will be facing this Detroit Tiger lineup brought to you by McDonald's. Brian Hunter, Higginson, Fryman, Clark, Hamlin, Easley, Pride, Casanova, and Cruz make up the 9 that Buddy Bell will send out against Irabu. And when you talk about Brian Hunter, the first batter to ever face Hideki Irabu, you got to think speed. Keep him off the base pad. First pitch is in there for a called strike. Man, you may hear a lot of this tonight. They are expecting a sellout crowd here at Yankee Stadium. Slow grounder to Jeter as he throws out Hunter and 1 down. So Ken Singleton, 2 pitches from Irabu, 1 fastball, 1 off-speed pitch.
Yeah, and both of them for strikes. Here's the defense is going to be behind Irabu tonight. Curtis Williams and O'Neill in the outfield. Hayes, Jeter, Soho, and Martinez in the infield. Girardi behind the plate and Irabu on the mound. A lot of pressure on Joe Girardi tonight because of the fact he's never caught Irabu before, and there's communications might be a problem.
And now we talk about Bobby Higginson. Power against power. And as Irabu did in the minor leagues, he is throwing strikes.
Right on the outside corner. All 3 of his pitches so far have been to good spots.
And an off-speed pitch. That looked like the split finger. Higginson out in front, fouling it off. So now Irabu works in front of Higginson. 0-2. This young man, just a few days ago, set a major league record with 4 consecutive home runs. And as we said, you will probably see a lot of encouragement tonight for Irabu from the Yankee fans. Of course, they want to see that first strikeout.
Yes,
That's what
do.
they want.
Wow, they were on their feet. Second hitter of the ball game. 89 miles per hour. That might have been the splitter.
Now, despite Irabu being 28 years old, you got to believe that he is nervous. That's down low. Now it's 2-2 to Higginson, along with a lot of others, including his teammates. They want him to succeed. 96 miles an hour in the last fastball. Swing and a miss, and the Yankee fans get the first strikeout.
Well, let's look at the sequence of pitches to Bobby Higginson, who Bobby told you is swinging the bat well. Called strike over the outside corner. Looked like a splitter that he fouls off. Looked like another splitter in the dirt, wouldn't chase. The count goes to 2-2 on a fastball. And that one had some movement. Looked like a high splitter that struck him out. Here's a look at it as it moves away from Higginson, and he is history. History, literally, because he's the first strikeout for Irabu.
And this brings up Travis Fryman, the third batter. Good fastball on the outside corner. Fryman, one of their veteran players in this young lineup for Buddy Bell. 12 home runs, 54 RBIs. That down low and outside. 1-1.
If there is a club leader on the Tigers, I would say it's Travis Fryman. He's been on the All-Star team a couple of times, and he's been with the club more than some of the other team players have been. As you mentioned, Bobby, a very young Tiger ball club.
And a much improved Tiger ball club. That's foul left side. So Irabu, as he has the first two batters working in front. Take a look at the scouting report.
Fastball in the high 90s. The low 90s splitter. That's some combination. Doesn't come to a stop from a stretch, and he's working on this. Fans on their feet once again looking for another strikeout.
Foul off to the right side. Good fastball. Good location. We had heard in Japan that sure, they throw the ball hard, but they don't always work on the corners. They just throw it right down the middle because they can if you are an overpowering pitcher like Irabu is, you can overpower the hitter, so you don't worry about the corners. And the splitter gets Fryman. That 90 miles an hour split finger from Irabu. If the first half inning is any indication, he is for real. 2 strikeouts here at the top of the first. No score. We'll be back.
Let's go back to the situation of Prohibition. Prohibition was an extremely difficult period for the Bush family. That period almost broke the company. Grandfather had a couple of choices. So he went into the yeast business, he went into the soft drink business, he went into the making of carriages, he went into the making of cabinets. When Prohibition finally came to an end, my father wanted to do something for his father. He did so by presenting him with an 8-horse hitch, the Clydesdales. The Clydesdales were taken down Pennsylvania Avenue, where the first case of beer was delivered to then-President Roosevelt. The Clydesdales today are a symbol of that quality, of that tradition, of that excellence that is the hallmark of Budweiser, that is the hallmark of Anheuser-Busch.
Men, is gray hair sneaking up on you, right under your nose?
It is sneaking up on me. Here, too.
You need Just for Men gel. Brush in, and in 5 minutes, rinse.
It's the sure thing for a natural look.
Just for Men gel.
You remember the unrelenting disabled list? Down 6 in Game 4. Maybe you began to question if they had anything left, but watched in awe as they ran on legs that screamed for mercy. The surgery, dropping the first 2. Funny how obstacles disappear when seen through the eyes of fans who believe. The world learned that adversity is nothing compared to the power of pride. It's why we are who we are. We're your world champions.
New York Yankees baseball is sponsored by Nobody Beats the Wiz. For total home entertainment, nobody beats the Wiz we know. And by Toyota and your local Toyota dealer. Toyota, I love what you do for me. and by the owners, managers, and crew who proudly call the McDonald's in your neighborhood my McDonald's. Big crowd on hand as the Yankees come to bat here in the bottom of the first inning. Omar Olivares up and in on Derek Jeter leading off for the Yankees. It'll be Jeter, Soho, and Williams, the scheduled three. And the numbers 500, 5-5, win-loss. Fouled off to the right side and down the line. That'll end up making the count 1-1. There's the rest of the Yankee lineup brought to you by McDonald. Behind Williams will be Martinez, O'Neill, fielder, Charlie Hayes at third base, Chad Curtis, and then Girardi. Breaking ball also fouled off to the right side. 285 average, 4 home runs, 37 runs batted in. But more importantly, Derek Jeter, Kenny, has a .423 on-base percentage in the leadoff spot.
Doing a great job leading off for the Yankees ever since he's been installed at that spot. Tim Raines being injured.
Just missing outside. So it's 2 balls, 2 strikes with a number 2 on the helmet.
I think Jeter feels that he's more creative. He has hit better in the leadoff spot than any other spot in the lineup that Joe Torre has used him.
And he fights that one off. A pitch inside. Sends it into center field for the first base hit of this game. So that on-base percentage will continue to grow. This is in the at the end of the top half of the first inning after Irabu strikes out 2 of 3 Tigers, and the first guy there was David Wells, teammate and part of this pitching rotation for the New York Yankees.
David Wells, going back to when the Yankees signed Irabu, it was quite evident he was going to show up at Yankee Stadium sooner or later.
And this is Soho. Back to Olivares. The Cruz at short. Back to Clark in a quick double play. 1-6-3. And there's 2 gone.
Making my point about David Wells. Originally, he was one of the Yankee pitchers who voiced some opinions about Irabu showing up at Yankee Stadium. They weren't all positive. But David Wells, as you saw, I guess he's accepted him now. He's the first one off the bench to shake his hand after the top half of the first inning.
Well, David Cone was asked about that and how the Yankees. David Cone was sitting next to David Wells there, and they were conversing. Cone, kind of the spokesperson, I guess, for this ball club, and he said that everything is all right. We have no problems, and we accept him as our teammate. And if he is for real, certainly we will love to have a guy like Hideki Irabu in our starting rotation.
He looked for real in the top of the first, didn't he?
Didn't he ever? And this is Bernie Williams. Strike 1 to Bernie.
I think David Cone also pointed out that he appreciated Irabu's stand, because remember, he was property of the San Diego Padres until the Yankees made the deal. And Cone mentioned that if Irabu said that the only team he wanted to pitch for was for the Yankees, give him credit, because he held out until the deal was made and the Yankees were able to sign him.
Inside, and this is a guy that they claimed was the Nolan Ryan of Japanese baseball. And holding his ground, and that's what really turned George Steinbrenner on to Hideki Irabu. The fact that he wanted to pitch in New York and he wanted to play for the Yankees, and it was his team and his team only that he would play for here in America. And it's a 1-ball, 2-strike count to Bernie Williams with 2 out here in the first inning. No score. Bobby Burster along with Ken Singleton here on the WB11.
Bobby, if you think back even further, remember how the Yankees tried to sign Roger Clemens this winter and couldn't get him. Maybe this is the answer.
Inside a low, that'll even it up at 2-2. Also, the Yankees a few years ago, they wanted to sign Greg Maddux. He didn't want to come and pitch in New York and live here. It's a special place. Everybody knows that. And because of events like this, and because of a game, a single game, with a guy making a debut, and it brings out everybody. I mean, there's over 300 media here at tonight's game, and this game, as we mentioned in the opening, is being beamed all over the world in almost to 40 million households around the country. Or the world, that is, and here in the United States.
As Bernie steps out, we should remind Yankee fans that it is now about rush hour over in Japan.
That pitch is low, so Bernie draws the first walk.
So people are watching this on Friday morning, getting ready to go to work. What'd you say, about 38 million households capable of getting this game in Japan? And also they have set up these big screens throughout the country. There's about 28 of them, so people can watch in the main thoroughfares, watch this game on the way to work.
As Tino Martinez steps in, to give you an idea, here on Broadway, you walk down Broadway in New York City, Manhattan, and you see those big jumbotrons, and you will see those all over Japan in their business district. And no doubt they are watching this game right now. And strike one to Martinez.
Well, you know the Tigers have to be pumped up facing Irabu, you know.
Well, it's the anticipation of the unknown for everybody, for you, for me, for Joe Torre, for his teammates. We've heard so much about him. Now we are getting a chance to see him for real. And Tino getting under this one, high fly ball into center field. So Brian Hunter puts it away. The Yankees are gone, leaving one on here in the bottom of the first inning. Here comes Irabu for the second. No score. Stay with us.
Jackie Chan is the world's toughest secret agent on his most dangerous mission ever. His code name, Condor. On July 18th, action takes flight. Jackie Chan, Operation Condor. Rated PG-13. Starts Friday, July 18th.
Nothing.
They will be here.
I don't see anything.
The guidebook says this is the place.
Whose idea was this?
Introducing Chevy Venture, the minivan with the widest dual sliding doors.
Where are they?
Slipping in and out has never been so easy.
Honey, maybe we ought to go further down.
The all-new Chevy Venture is here.
Let's go. Let's go.
This is obviously not the spot.
Lease a Chevy Venture for just $289 a month for 39 months. Initial payment $1814.
In clinical studies, a leading pain medicine significantly reduced minor arthritis pain, increasing range of motion and flexibility. You may be surprised. The medicine in these studies wasn't a pill. It was Bengay. And now, when you use ultra-strength Bengay for your aches and pains, you get the heating power of 3 pain relievers to help you feel better and move better. Ultra-strength Bengay, medicine for your moving parts.
A tough case of athlete's foot can stop you in your tracks. You get that itching, the cracking, the burning. That's when you want a medicine that acts tough. Boom! Tough Actin Tenactin. It cures even tough cases of athlete's foot. Get Tough Actin Tenactin.
Back at the stadium, top of the second, no score. The Yankees with the only hit in this game. As Tony Clark steps in against Irabu. First pitch, pops it up behind home plate. And Joe Girardi makes a nice play. That is a tough play for a catcher, one gone. Well, Joe Torre is a pretty calm and collected guy. We asked him if this is just another ball game, this debut of Hideki Irabu. Here's what he had to say.
It's going to be tough to try to say it's just another ball game, because obviously everything leading up to it and everything surrounding the game is going to put it in high energy and a lot of attention. And I just talked to Irabu just a little bit ago, and the only thing we tried to get across from it's baseball. Try to enjoy yourself, and that we're on his side. You know, basically. I mean, there's a lot of. I'm sure he's going to feel a lot of pressure, and hopefully he does well in spite of that.
Well, it's an 0-2 count to Bob Hamlin, the designated hitter. And Torre, well, the thing that he said, we tried to get across to him that we are on his side. And another strikeout for Irabu. 3. And that's something new here at Yankee Stadium. Obviously, that is a Japanese K for a strikeout.
Well, here's the pitch to Hammer. Let's see if it's the splitter. Yeah, whoa, that thing dives off the end of the table. And so far, he's picked up a couple of his 3 strikeouts on the splitter. Here's a look at the rotation as this comes tumbling to home plate. Then the bottom falls out of it. Every hitter that he's faced, 6 hitters tonight, the first pitch has been a strike.
A power pitcher that throws strikes. That is what you want to see if you're Mel Stottlemyre and Joe Torre, especially like he said, he's on our side. This is David Easley, and that's a breaking ball. That was a curveball, the first one I think we've seen tonight from Irabu. He's got 4 pitches. He's got the good fastball, which they call a 4-seamer, and then that monstrous and devastating split finger, and then the curveball and change.
72 miles per hour on the curve. Variety of weapons for Irabu. He also has a straight changeup, so he comes loaded to strike people out. Wow, Girardi had a problem catching that one. Good splitter.
On deck is Curtis Pride. 2 outs here in the second. Let's see what Girardi wants a fastball outside. A little bit inside, and Easley fights it off.
Irabu facing a hot hitter in Easley. Here's a guy who comes in with a 10-game hitting streak and has certainly taken over that second base job in Detroit. Really done a good job for the Tigers.
Well, the Tigers, a much improved ball club. A check swing foul to the right side, so the count remains 1-2.
We were in Detroit. Buddy Bell gave us a scouting report as the Tigers went in to face David Cone. And Buddy mentioned that his type of club, a young club, set a major league record for striking out last season, would be overmatched by Cone, and Cone struck out 16 that night.
Split finger swung on, strike 3. Irabu, number 4 for him. And we've only played an inning and a half. The fans love it here at Yankee Stadium. No score.
Every once in a blue moon, something new comes along that scrambles your preconceptions and turns out to be a whole new omelet. Like whoever thought you could say luxury car and fun in the same sentence? Well, we did. In fact, we said it in one word, Catera, a proud new addition to our luxury family. It's the caddy that zigs. Lisa Catera. See your authorized Cadillac Catera Tri-Statesman. Well, who is Lisa Catera?
Speed is an important aspect of Mobil's friendly, sir.
Speed is important because it's what the customer wants.
I like to pay at the pump. It's quick, it's easy, and I can be back on the road in no time.
Basically, our job is to get customers in and out
fast.
If I'm just in here, I'm out of here.
You can't even get burgers and fries this fast.
And the last place you want to see a traffic jam is at a gas station.
That's Mobile friendly, sir.
How can we help you?
If you love chocolate, peanuts, caramel, and especially Reese's peanut butter, good news. Reese's Nutrageous bars are now 20% bigger.
If your ears bother you when you fly, do as I do. Invest in airplanes by Travel Smart. Here's what air travelers say about airplanes.
Airplanes really work. I use them personally, and I recommend them to everyone.
I use airplanes when I fly and experience no discomfort.
I wish to compliment your product, airplanes, as I found them to be effective, and definitely for people who fly and have problems with ear discomfort.
Airplanes by Travel Smart. Now you and your ears can take off and land smoothly.
Well, back at the stadium, bottom of the second inning, and this place is buzzing. I don't think I've seen this kind of electricity here at Yankee Stadium. The last time I saw it was Game 6 of the 1996 World Series when the Yankees clinched it. And right now we're waiting for Tony Clark to come out of the Tiger dugout.
He's waiting at the top step for a new glove. Clark, I guess, broke his glove in infield practice, and he's got a couple to choose from, and finally decides on a big piece of leather. You got to have a big piece of leather if you're Tony Clark at 6'7". You know he's got a big can.
So Clark has some new leather. They've got a first baseman, and Paul O'Neill will lead off for the Yankees here in the bottom of the second. It'll be O'Neill, Fielder, and then Charlie Hayes. Well, what a way for the Yankees to begin the second half of the 1997 season.
We just saw Irabu take a seat in the dugout, put on the jacket. He was down in the tunnel.
First pitch swinging. At Davy Cruz at shortstop. He is a slick fielder. And one of the things that the Tigers have done in 1997 is that they have improved their defense. They're #1 in the American League of defense.
David Cruz has been a big part of that. Sure-handed at shortstop. In the outfield, it's Pride, Hunter, and Higginson. Fryman, David Cruz at short, easily at second. Clark at first. Casanova doing the catching. Olivares on the mound. Bob Higginson out in right field. He was not in right field for the Tigers when the Yankees played Detroit. He was out with a strained muscle in his side. He came back against the Mets and wore them out.
Not only did he wear them out, but the whole ball club. The Tiger ball club hit something like 14 home runs against the Mets in that series. Cecil popping it up right side. And he usually puts it away. 2 gone here in the second.
Well, Cecil's been to Japan before, but he doesn't get the welcome that Irabu's getting here tonight.
At least not at that at bat.
No.
He looked pretty calm, cool, and collected. I guess he is. He struck out 4 of 6 Tigers so far. And this is Charlie Hayes batting with 2 gone here in the second. The Yankees begin the second half of the 97th season, a 48-37 record, 7 games back of Baltimore. And ball 1 to Hayes. So a lot of games to be played. A lot of baseball left. And Joe Torre's theory has always been, or his comments say, look, we can't worry about what Baltimore does. Even if Baltimore plays the same way they did the first half, we're probably not going to beat them. But so what? We still have the wild card. We still are playing good baseball, and we have a good record. So ever how we can get into playoffs, that's how we want to do it. Back to Olivares. So an easy inning for the Tigers. The Yankees go 1, 2, 3. Top of the third coming up. Irabu will take them out.
Nobody beats the Wiz. No. We know. Yeah, we know. We know.
It has one of the industry's most comprehensive warranty packages, but there's more to the stylish Elantra. With a Best Buy award from Consumers Digest, there's no doubt it's a whole new Hyundai.
Lease an Elantra for just $149 a month during our 10-minute test drive summer sale.
You remember the unrelenting disabled list? Down 6 in Game 4. Maybe you began to question if they had anything left, but watched in awe as they ran on legs that screamed for mercy. For surgery, dropping the first 2. Funny how obstacles disappear when seen through the eyes of fans who believe. The world learned that adversity is nothing compared to the power of pride. It's why we are who we are. We're your world champions.
Taking football to new heights, the New York City Hawks are flying high. Come inside for hard-hitting, non-stop action like you've never seen before. In-your-face excitement at the world's most famous arena. Fun-filled entertainment for the entire family. Arena ball rocks and the garden shakes when the City Hawks prey on their opponents. See the hottest game in town. And now children under 14 can experience the excitement absolutely free when accompanied by an adult. Call Ticketmaster at 212-307-7171 or visit the Garden box office today.
Back to the stadium, top of the third inning. If you are just joining us, let's take a look at what has happened here in the first inning.
Well, a couple of strikeouts for Irabu in the first inning. Bobby Higginson on a splitter up and away. Travis Fryman, the bottom falls out of another splitter. He strikes out. Then to the second inning, Bob Hamlin's going to get a taste of the splitter as he is the third strikeout. And then Damian Easley on a split-figure fastball is struck out.
And Curtis Pride leads off here in the top of the third. So 6 men up, 6 men down for the Tigers. This is the bottom third. Following Pride will be Casanova and then Cruz. And again, Hideki Irabu with a strike on the first pitch.
Now, Bobby, you can see his pattern. Get ahead with the fastball, put him away with the splitter.
23 pitches, 19 strikes. I think that's the splitter. Watch out. That would look like it got away from him.
One of the few times he's been behind on the count. There's a close-up look, and it's coming right in your living room. There's a splitter, but it was up and away.
up high. Now the count goes to 3-1 on Pride. Just to give you an idea, his fastball average tonight, speed-wise, 96, 90 to 96. Casanova on deck. The split finger, somewhere around 87 to 92. And the first walk given up by Irabu, the first base runner for the Tigers here in the third.
Sequence to Curtis Pride, the first walk in the major leagues for Irabu. Now he got the first pitch in for a strike, but then struggled from that point on. Fastball inside, looked like a splitter up. Fastball just a little bit high. And finally, there's ball four and another fastball. Here's where things could get interesting. Irabu had problems in the minor leagues holding runners on. Right now he's checking to see who's going to cover at second base on a ground ball back to him. So you see he's a seasoned pro. This is not a rookie in the major leagues, but he's pitched several years over in Japan.
Pride with 6 stolen bases, as this is a running ball club, and the first throw back to Tino Martinez just to let Pride know that he will throw over there. But this is something that Billy Connors has been working with Irabu on since about the second game in the minor leagues. And they took advantage of Irabu, and what is it really a tradition in Japan? They don't have to stop. I mean, it's not mandatory that they have to stop with the man on. And this laced into right field for a base hit. So the Tigers come out here in the third. And Raul Casanova gets the first hit. 2 men on, nobody out.
Well, this pitch is centered in the middle of the plate, right in the middle of the plate, and he turns on it for the base hit. And once again, Irabu gets the first pitch in there. Remember now, he's working from the stretch for the first time tonight. And you can see the pitch right there for Casanova to turn on, and it singles the right field to Paul O'Neill. So this could be interesting just to see how he fares with men on base.
Well, they have been working with him the last couple of weeks on shortening the pitcher's motion from the stretch. As Davy Cruz turns to bunt. That pitch down low and outside. So the Tigers with something going here in the third.
That almost tells you that Buddy Bell does not expect to score many runs tonight, so he's going for the sacrifice to move some runners into scoring position.
Now he's fallen behind Cruz. 2 balls and no strike. Something that they worked on. This is Joe Girardi and Irabu during the All-Star break on Tuesday, I think it was, or Wednesday. They were here at Yankee Stadium and worked on particular plays such as the one that he's in now, and working on what he's supposed to do. And that pitch up high. Now it's 3 balls and no strikes.
Well, Irabu kind of upset with himself after this last pitch. Since he has gone to the stretch, he's had problems throwing strikes, or at least exactly where he wants to. It looks like he has a pretty good motion. Maybe didn't pick up the catcher fast enough. But right now he's fallen behind 3-0. The Yankee Stadium crowd trying to rally him.
Rio pitch in for a call strike. Now it's 3-1. Obviously Cruz taking all the way.
Now a good pitch again to the outside corner. Cruz is back in the bunt situation. Here's the rotation on the fastball to the corner. Good four-seamer as you see the ball spinning over and over and over before it tumbles into Girardi's glove.
And on the 3-1 pitch, Buddy Bell lets Cruz swing away and bounds it back and out of play. Now it's 3-2.
I think Buddy Bell thinking that Irabu would throw a strike in a good place to hit. Now it was a pretty good pitch to hit. It just overpowered Cruz. Does that mean the runners will be going?
I would just imagine. 3-2, nobody out here in the third. 2 men on. And the runners take off. Hit hard and past Hayes in the left field. Pride will round third. He will come on to score. The throw back to third is in time as they put the tag on Casanova. Meanwhile, Cruz will move into second, and the Tigers lead it 1-0.
There's the base hit. Curtis comes up big with a strong throw to third. Nice dig out by Charlie Hayes, and a tag applied to Casanova, and it gets him out. Once again, a look as Curtis sizes up the situation. Has time. Close play at third. But the dig out on the end, that's a tough throw to dig out of the dirt, and a good tag applied by Charlie Hayes.
Oh, Curtis coming through again. In Toronto, he made a heck of a throw. As the Yankees, in a very tight ball game at that particular time, throw out a runner at home. And now the Tigers have batted around on Irabu. This will be the second time for Brian Hunter. He bounced out to Jeter his first time up, so he's 0 for 1. Tigers now lead it 1-0, 1 out. Man at second here in the third. Jeter looks at third, decides to throw Hunter out at first. Hunter has got tremendous speed.
When you saw Jeter field that ground ball, he looked at Cruz, who was running the third. Now, if he had looked much longer, watch him look over at the runner. Hunter would have beaten this out. That's how fast Hunter is. He might be the fastest runner from the right-hand side of the plate down the line in the American League. See Jeter check the runner out going to third. Didn't have a play there, but almost didn't have one at first.
So 2 gone. Cruz at third, and this is Bobby Higginson, who struck out. First strikeout for Irabu in the game. Back of the first inning. And a split finger in the dirt. Nice stop by Girardi.
Higginson hit 3 home runs in a row against the Mets in a ball game, and then on his next at bat the next day, homered again. So he hit 4 consecutive home runs, and Brian Hunter, who batted in front of him, was on base for every one of them.
And that pitch just missing inside. Now it's 2-0. Are you a little bit you know, he's decided to pitch out of the stretch with the runner on at third instead of just going to the windup.
He's pitched better from the windup, but maybe you know, this whole inning has been primarily out of the stretch except for the first hitter.
That pitch foul back and out of play on the 2-0. Thought maybe he would go back to the windup with the man on third. But he has stayed in the stretch, and you mentioned that since he started pitching in the stretch, his ball seemed to flatten out a little bit. Didn't have that good velocity on it, and the location wasn't there.
I think it's primarily been the location.
Now it's 3-1.
Yeah, I mentioned when Higginson hit the 4 home runs, Hunter was on for all 4 of the homers. Higginson came up the 5th time, going for the record 5 home runs in a row. Hunter was not on base, and Higginson made an out.
You have to be careful with Higginson, even though he hit second in this lineup. Good swing, but foul back and out of play. I mentioned Higginson with Fryman on deck. Higginson hit 4 consecutive home runs in Detroit the other day. Tied a major league record. Irabu's last pitch was 93 miles an hour. Now low ball 4 with a split finger. So now the Tigers will have runners at first, third. That's the second walk in this inning.
90-mile-per-hour splitter. Joe Girardi's going to have his hands full as Mel Stottlemyre.
Now this could be interesting here. Runners at first and third. Higginson has good speed at first base. This is the time if you want to try to disrupt the pitcher, and knowing what he went through in the minor leagues, they probably will test him. We'll wait and see. Fryman also struck out his first time up. Out of play.
Once again, getting ahead with the fastball. Now, Bobby, you know that when the hitters come up and they face a pitcher who's throwing 95, 96 miles an hour, it's tough to put that first fastball in play. You do a lot of what the Tigers are doing tonight, either taking it for a strike or fouling it off. They can't get around. They have to adjust as the at-bat goes along.
Catching the inside corner. Now it's 0-2 on Fryman.
Here's a look at the last pitch. First pitch over the outside corner. This one's spotted to the inside corner. So he gets ahead of Travis Fryman with 2 well-placed fastballs.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. So Irabu now has struck out 5 Tigers, but the Tigers strike with a run here in the third inning on a couple of base hits They go to the bottom of the third. They lead it 1-0.
My beef isn't with beer. It's with those Amstels from Amsterdam. There it is. There's 3 of them they're bringing in now.
On behalf of the American people, turn that ship around. Can you hear me? I am a human shield. You will not get by me.
And you know what goes on in Amsterdam, don't you?
Great man, do not lower those beers.
Licentious behavior.
Don't you put that down.
We're making a positive move to keep this out of this country.
I've been driving a Midtown boot for years. It's no picnic. Traffic's bad enough in summer, but winter? Oh, forget about it. If only I drove my GMC Jimmy all day, cruising the street with my 4-wheel drive, moving in and out of rush hour traffic. Hey, what traffic?
And now you can lease a Jimmy for only $289 a month for 30 months or receive $1,000 cash back. See your Tri-State GMC dealer today.
I'd be relaxed in my Jimmy. Hey, move it, pal!
Whoa, a beeper service for $1.99 per month. How did they do that?
I bet they got one of those super secret stealth satellites that like circle Uranus, you know? Or maybe they got like a space monkey with a tinfoil hat on. Or remember when I got that feeling in my mouth you could hear that country music station?
Uranus?
I don't know, maybe Neptune.
Hey, for $1.99, who cares how? Call 1-800-BEEP-199 and ask how much. Plus, trade in your working beeper and get a new one for just $19.95. Wow.
Uranus.
Big crowd on hand for the debut, bottom of the third inning. Let's take a look at our Delta Airlines upcoming schedule. Tomorrow on MSG, we'll have it right here starting at 7 o'clock. And Saturday, Old Timers Day at 2 o'clock also on MSG. And then the WB11 will be back on Sunday starting at 1:30. We hope you will join us. 4-game series, Yankees and Tigers kicking it off here in the second half of the 97 season. And this is Chad Curtis leading off for the Yankees here in the bottom of the third. Tigers now lead it 1-0. And Curtis with 5 home runs, batting .240 and 14 RBIs. And this is off the end of the bat, fly ball into left field. Easy play for Curtis Pride. 1 gone.
Well, Bobby, have you been getting ready for Old Timers Day coming up on Saturday? You've been doing your exercises, and I know that 314 sign in right field looks awful inviting.
It's taking me several years to get ready for Old Timers game. In fact, I'm over ready. Joe Girardi becomes the 9th batter against Olivares.
Looked like Jerry White was bringing in an airplane from the Tiger dugout. He's moving the outfielders around.
And Girardi has his average up to .269, 1 home run, 29 RBIs. Boy, Jolton Joe Girardi old. Absolutely. Last week he was 14 for 27. He had a couple of 3-hit games in that Toronto series. And he sends a nice souvenir off to the right side for the crowd.
You know, with Girardi tonight behind the plate in this historic event with Irabu working his first Major League ball game, I mentioned communication problems. But Girardi, he has a card in his pocket that has translations from English to Japanese of what type of pitch that he wants thrown, how to change the signs with runner on base. He'll go out to the mound, pull out that card, and go from there.
Yeah, it's got an English translation along with a Japanese translation. And take a look at some of the new words that we will probably be seeing frequently now on the telecast.
Sing or saying.
I wish I could pronounce them. And Girardi takes one inside, so second walk now given up by Olivares. The Yankees have a man on with 1 out.
Well, I know that the word for stop is tumaru, and I don't know what the word for don't stop is. That's what you got to stop do on the mound is tumaru. You got to stop before you deliver with a man on base.
Well, we had learned, or we thought we had learned, that Irabu was the right pronunciation of his name, but Irabu, as reported by Irabu's translator, that it's not Irabu, that it is Irabu. So we will try to do that if we can. But we are waiting on Bob Shepard, the PA announcer, who's been here for so many years, and he's a lot better at pronouncing names than I am. And before today's ball game, he announced Irabu. So if it good enough for Bob. I guess it's good enough for me.
Yeah. All the other Yankees are saying Irabu as well.
Yeah. So, Irabu's translator, Kota Ishiyama.
That's the guy in the tunnel, right?
And this is Derek Jeter. And it's a 1-ball, 1-strike count to Derek.
Yeah, Olivares, well, he hasn't picked up a strikeout yet tonight, but 2 strikeouts for him tonight. He'll have 500 in his career. He started against the Yankees back on June the 24th. Got a no decision. That was a game that Tino Martinez went 5 for 5 with 2 home runs.
That's high and tight. Now it's 2-1.
And coming into the season, he was the leader of the Tigers staff. That role has since been taken by a young Justin Thompson, who made the All-Star team, a good-looking young left-hander. But Tigers had a miserable year last year when pitching. They had a pitcher go 8 or more innings just 18 times last year. 8 times it was Olivares.
And the runner takes off, and that is fouled sharply off to the right side. So Girardi will go back to first base. Well, you talked about the ball club, the Tiger Ball Club. At the All-Star break last year, they were 27-61. And this year,
as we look at Justin Thompson, and he's a big reason why they've improved.
Yeah, they're only 3 games below 500 and in 3rd placed in the American League East. Chopper right side, could be a base hit. Looking easily at second, and that's the reason that they are in an improved ball club. But because of Jeter's speed, he beats out an infield hit, and the Yankees now have runners at first and second.
Well, they're playing a double play depth. Good stop by Easley. We mentioned how well he has performed on the right side, but see Jeter's speed down the line. We're talking about Hunter. Jeter is no slouch himself when he smells a base hit. A little bit too long to right himself and throw. You can see Jeter did indeed beat the throw to first base. Hustling down the line. Once he sees the infielder leave his feet, there's that last step, and he's in there. Once again, a look at the speed of Derek Jeter. I'd like to see a race between he and Hunter.
You'd have to look quick. That's all I can tell you.
I tell you, Easley is no slouch either when it comes to running, but he couldn't get the ball fast enough to first base with the throw.
All right, the Yankees threatening here in the 3rd, and this is Luis Sojo. Now, Sojo in Toronto had some problems with a hyperextended left elbow, and he didn't play the last day. I guess that is all right. The 4 days off has been good to him as he's able to heal that elbow up. That's down low. It's 1-1. Sojo bounced into a double play back in the 1st.
Sojo now checking the signs from Willie Randolph.
Well, through all of this hoopla and debut, we failed to mention that Kenny Rogers and Mariano Duncan are back in uniform for the Yankees. And the runners take off on a hit and run. Sojo sends it to the right side. Easley will throw out Sojo. But the Yankees runner do move up to 2nd and 3rd with 2 outs, and Bernie Williams will get a chance to put the Yankees ahead.
Joe Torre trying to open up that infield. Easley kind of held his ground, and that's why the play is made by him. The shortstop hole had been open. So Joe starting the runners, hoping that something would open up. Sojo didn't hit the ball very hard and was an easy out, but the runners do move up, and you stay out of the double play.
Well, you stay out of the double play. You take a chance. If it doesn't work, at least you have runners at 2nd and 3rd. Or you have a guy like Bernie Williams. If they want to pitch around Bernie and not give him anything to hit, then you got Tino Martinez to follow with the bases loaded. Bernie walked back in the 1st. And a tapper in front of home plate. Casanova will have to hurry, and he throws it away. Girardi comes on to score. Easily backing up the play, saved another run for the Tigers, but the Yankees have tied it up at 1. Well, we talked about the defense of this ball club, and then now they make a mistake.
Well, it lets him down here as Buddy Bell sees his catcher Casanova throw this ball a little bit too hard for first baseman Tony Clark to handle. Now, it was a tough play. It looked like it took Casanova a long time to get to the ball. Then he threw it straight down into the dirt. A good test for Bernie Williams down the line. Remember, he hurt his hamstring originally in Florida, running out a ball to first base. Looks like Bernie's okay as he hustles down the line to put pressure on Casanova, who just threw the ball away.
Now Casanova quickly pouncing on that little grounder and waving off Olivares, saying that he had it all the way.
Well, Bernie started towards second. They tagged him. They still called him safe.
Runners at first and third, 2 away. Yankees 1, Tigers 1. And Tino gets a shot. Tino just missed one back in the first inning as he flying out to center field. Tino said he had a heck of a time at the All-Star game, and why not? He was in a home run hitting contest and against McGuire and Griffey and all those great home run hitters. Tino wins it. So he brings the trophy back to the New York Yankees as the home run specialist at the All-Star game.
What, he hit 16 home runs total?
And now it's 2 balls and no strikes, so the count is in Tino's favor. 28 home runs and 78 RBIs as Irabu looks on. It's a brand new ball game as far as he is concerned now with a 1-1 tie. And a good pitch by Olivares on the outside corner.
In that start in Detroit, Olivares against the Yankees at Tiger Stadium, he went through the lineup unscathed the first time, but then the Yankees got to him the second time through the lineup as they made major adjustments. He was making good pitches with his splitter and his sinker. The Yankees started hitting the ball to the opposite field and collecting a lot of doubles and extra base hits to the opposite field. They made the adjustment.
Throw back to first. No harm done.
By the way, that play was an error on the catcher. No RBI for Bernie Williams.
Olivares only lasted 2 2/3 innings in his last start against Baltimore. And Tino just a little bit late on that fastball, found just beyond the Tiger dugout. So the count now goes to 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the third. Jeter on at third base with Bernie on at first. Irabu not even sweating on this fairly warm night here at Yankee Stadium.
I bet she's thinking what every pitcher thinks in this situation. Just get me to lead.
Give me a 3-run lead. That's down low, ball 3, 3-2. So Bernie will be off with this pitch with 2 outs. Bernie takes off, the pitch is hit deep to right field. If it stays, Barrett got it, gone! Tino with his 29th home run, and the Yankees now lead it 4-1.
Lead you were talking about.
Well, you brought it up. You said every pitcher's thinking what they always think. That's to get me the lead. And man, when you got a guy like Tino Martinez at the plate, you know something exciting is going to happen. And he just missed one in the first inning. But Tino puts the Yankees in front 4-1 with that 3-run shot.
Well, the error comes back to haunt the Tigers. Not only did a run score to tie the game, but it enabled Tino Martinez to come to the plate.
And this is Paul O'Neill. One more look at it.
Well, let's see the pitch. Oh, right there. And what a quick bat through the zone. This ball was launched. Well, hit the facing of the middle deck. Got up there in a hurry, too.
1-1 count. Tino was saying at the All-Star game off of Maddox, he hit one down the right field line, and it just curved foul. It would have been a 2-run shot. This one didn't curve. And like all good pitchers, they're the first out of the dugout to congratulate the guy that put you ahead.
Wow, now with 3 more RBIs into the 80s. 81 runs batted in. Wow.
And this is shot down the left field line. Pride on the run, and he will get there. What a nice play by Curtis Pride in left field, robbing O'Neill of at least 2 bases. But Tino Martinez with his 29th home run, a 3-run shot, gives Irabu new life. And he gives him the lead. Top of the 4th coming up. Yankees 4, Tigers 1.
Nice Lexus.
Well, I am a professional financial planner.
Yeah, I bet you are. So, did you get a road sensing suspension? 275 horsepower engine? Standard all-speed traction control?
No.
Well, then you did get a good deal, right?
No.
What kind of a financial planner are you?
Seville SLS with the North Star system. At $4.99 a month, it combines power, control, and technology like no other car in its class.
So would you like my card?
Oh, no.
The Michelin X1, with a 6-year unlimited mileage tread life warranty, gives you better wet traction than any rain tire, plus Michelin control in most driving conditions. After all, it hasn't rained that much in years.
Molly, Mom, come here.
When you're through providing your own action for the evening, it's Blockbuster's turn, with thousands of ways to make it a Blockbuster night.
Fasten your seatbelts for a killer ride.
Help me get this plane on the ground. This plane is not gonna land.
Ray Liotta, Lauren Holly, Turbulence. Rated R from HBO Home Video. Rent it tonight at Blockbuster. Say your prayers.
Inning. Irabu's first pitch is a ball low and inside, but he's got the lead now. Tino put him out in front 4-1 with his 29th home run. This is Tony Clark. And that pitch up high. Now it's 2-0. Boy, Clark has put some numbers up. Big, strong switch hitter. For those 22 home runs and 73 RBIs Clark has. Swings past the high fastball. Now it's 2-1.
I think the place to pitch Clark is the high fastball. Remember his first time up high fastball, he popped it foul and Joe Girardi caught it. You can see them keep the ball about waist high, maybe just a little bit higher, and Clark cannot get upstairs to get it.
Now that's another good pitch on the outside corner. It's 2-2.
Now here's another look. After up and in, how about low and away?
He got him. Strikeout number 6 for Irabu, that is.
Now here's the pitch package to Tony Clark that moved him as it was up and in. Fastball up and in again. He tried it to the same spot, low and away for a strike, moving the ball around effectively. And then call strike 3. You know, nothing fancy with his delivery, but I just think that for a guy as big as he is, what, 6'4", 240, excellent control.
And that just missing low and inside on Bob Hamlin, the designated hitter. Hamlin has come on, batting .301, 9 home runs. And you see it's 6 strikeouts for Irabu. And now it's a 1-1 count.
I'll tell you, that's a lot of work just to draw a K. And that's a lot of work for a K too, but
it is a lot of work. It says welcome to New York. And Hamlin, sharp liner in right field for a base hit. Well, we asked the all-star starting pitcher for the National League if he had any advice for Irabu, and here's what he had to say. This is Greg Maddux.
Oh no, he knows what he's doing. I've seen clips of him. He's got it figured out. You know, you just wish him well. You know, I mean, it takes a lot to do what he did. I mean, that guy really stood up for something that he believes in, and it was a hard road to get to where he wanted to go, and he's just about there. So you just wish him well, you know, once he does arrive.
Well, one thing about it, he's not just about there anymore. He is here. And Irabu has 6 strikeouts here through the 4th inning. And he also has the lead for the Yankees, 4-1.
Same sort of sentiments that David Cohn mentioned, the fact that he stood up for something. He wanted to pitch for the Yankees, nobody else. That's just power against easily right here. He says, if you can hit this, you're the better man on this pitch, but couldn't get it done. Fastball right on by him.
No balls, 2 strikes to Easley, who struck out in the 2nd. He got him inside corner, strikeout number 7. And a little diversification here at Yankee Stadium as far as the fans are concerned. They love it.
Look at that last pitch. That looked like a splitter. That didn't have the downward motion, but it certainly came in on the hands of Easley and captured the inside corner. Great pitch.
You know what I've noticed, and of course this is the first time you and I have had a chance to see him pitch, is that sometimes on his split finger, it's kind of like a backup curveball. He doesn't throw the good one sometimes, and it fools the hitter, and then all of a sudden he'll break one off 92 miles an hour that just breaks off the table. Curtis Pride takes one down low and outside for a ball.
Seems like Mel Stoudemire and Zimmer and Don Zimmer and Joe Torre like what they have seen so far. And why not? Pitcher's got 7 strikeouts in the 4th inning.
And a 4-1 lead. 2 outs, 1 man on for the Tigers. Outside, ball 2, 2-0.
Well, he walked Curtis Pride in the 3rd inning, and that started the Tigers rally that saw them score 1 run and take the lead briefly. Curtis Pride, a good fastball hitter, a good low fastball hitter.
They're not holding Hamlin on at first. And a good 2-0 fastball in there for a strike as Curtis swings by it.
Well, that ball had quite a bit of the plate, almost down the middle, maybe on the outer half, but a challenging type pitch when a pitcher falls behind 2-0. Just throws it for the middle of the plate and says, see if you can hit it. And so far, the Tigers haven't been able to turn on a 2-0 pitch.
I actually think I saw Joe Torre smile. That pitch fouled off to the left side. Now it's 2-2, 91 miles an hour. Is that a little smile on Torre's face? I think it is.
Zimmer's talking to him now. Zim can make you smile.
Look at our Toyota box score here in the 4th inning. 3 hits for the Tigers and 1 run. The fans here at Yankee Stadium. There's a smile. Guess who that is? That's the pitching coach, Mel Stoudemire.
I can hear Mel now. I worked with him one day, and look what we get.
Down low, ball 3, 3-2. On deck is Casanova. Casanova partly the reason that Irabu has a 4-1 lead for that error back in the 3rd. Runner takes off. He went around. That was a split finger on a 3-2 pitch. 91 miles an hour. Strikeout number 8 for Irabu. Pride couldn't hold up. Watch this thing break off the table. Man, oh man, is he for real? You bet he's for real. Yankees lead it 4-1.
Good morning, sir. They're expecting you just down the hall.
I said a scalpel, not Excalibur.
TLC, adventures for your mind.
Men, is gray hair sneaking up on you right under your nose?
It is sneaking up on me. Here, too.
You need Just for Men gel. Brush in, and in 5 minutes, rinse.
It's the sure thing for a natural look.
Just for Men gel.
We
could not deny the RAV4 our top ranking.
The RAV4 breaks expected molds.
The RAV4 rides a great deal better than many a sedan.
Handling in both RAV4 models is excellent.
The all-new RAV4 recreational activity vehicle starts at only $15,118. Maybe we should start calling it the Rave 4.
Driving it is great fun.
You remember the unrelenting disabled list? Down 6 in Game 4. Maybe you began to question if they had anything left, but watched in awe as they ran on legs that screamed for mercy. The surgery, dropping the first 2. Funny how obstacles disappear when seen through the eyes of fans who believe. The world learned that adversity is nothing compared to the power of pride. It's why we are who we are. We're your world champions.
Well, back to the stadium, bottom of the 4th inning. Nothing could dampen what is going on here at the stadium tonight as Cecil Fielder leads it off here in the bottom of the 4th. The Yankees in front 4-1.
Certainly the fans watching this back in Japan remember Cecil Fielder. He went over there and eventually returned to the States.
And it's an 0-2 count now to Fielder.
And became a prodigious home run slugger thanks to his work that he did over in Japan. Worked on his game over there and got it together.
Has hit more home runs in the 90s than any active player. That's outside 1 and 2. But the Yankees and of course the baseball world, as we take a look at the Toyota box score, they want Cecil to hit more home runs. He's only hit 10. That's pretty good for a lot of guys, but not for Cecil. And that's line foul. He's got 50 RBIs. Now that's not good enough because they need about 20-25 home runs at this particular time, and they will think that Cecil has earned his money. Where Cecil earned his money by hitting home runs, and mostly for the Tigers. Foul back and out of play. The count remains 1 and 2.
And Cecil's up there now. 299 career homers. So he's got a milestone home run coming up. Now we don't know when it's going to get there, but number 300 is on the horizon.
It is lurking right around the corner. Not this time. Cecil strikes out, leading off here in the 4th. New York Yankees baseball is brought to you by your Jeep and Eagle dealer. There's only one Jeep, and it's only at your Tri-State Jeep and Eagle dealer. And by Nobody Beats the Wiz for total home entertainment. Nobody beats the Wiz, we know. And by Delta, proudly sponsored by the 62,000 professionals at Delta Airlines, and by Hyundai. And their full line of exciting new cars, Hyundai, where driving is believing. And this is Charlie Hayes. Check swing. Tried to get out of the way of it. Sends a ground to the left side, so Cruz throws him out. So quickly, 2 are out here in the 4th. Well, those are damaging as far as your mental aspect is concerned. You're trying to get out of the way of the pitch inside. How many times did you do this?
Not very often, but I used to hate when it happened. I mean, nobody likes to do it. I remember checking a swing like this, and I got base hit. I was batting left-handed. Ball went over the third baseman's head. I had no idea where the ball was.
So with 2 outs, that Hayes ground ball. This is Chad Curtis, and Chad swings and fouls the first pitch out of play. Well, Curtis has been a pleasant addition to this Yankee ball club, especially with Tim Raines on the shelf, Darryl Strawberry on the disabled list. Mark Whitten had to almost play every day, and finally they ended up with Curtis. But Curtis gives the ball club a lot of diversification. He can play many positions. And the outfield for them, a heck of a defensive player. Mariano Duncan back in uniform tonight as that trade was rescinded. The trade with the San Diego Padres that sent Duncan and Kenny Rogers out to San Diego for Greg Vaughn. Vaughn did not pass the physical, so the trade was rescinded by the Yankees. So they're back in uniform.
Yeah, we were talking to General Manager Bob Watson before the game, Yankee General Manager, and he mentioned that Greg Vaughn has had 4 procedures on his shoulder, his right shoulder. And it looks like he might have to have number 5. Well, that's the reason why there was no deal.
Well, Vaughn making what, about $5 million, I guess, And so the Yankees felt like that after those surgeries that his arm wasn't satisfactory for that type of money in this trade. So Curtis Pride walking here on the first inning. Check that in the fourth inning with 2 out. Let's take a look at some scores. No Girardi coming up. On our Nobody Beats the Wiz scoreboard, Anaheim defeating Oakland 8-4 this afternoon. And Toronto 5-3 over Boston in the 5th. Chicago shutting out Kansas City with a new manager. Bob Boone was let go by the Kansas City Royals over the All-Star break.
Tony Muser takes over. He was the hitting coach for the Chicago Cubs, so Muser changes teams, changes leagues.
That was kind of surprising, I think, because they had just Herc Robinson, the general manager of Kansas City, had just extended Bob Boone's contract for a couple of more years, and they have struggled here in 1997. I guess the ball club felt like that they should be playing a lot better, so they make a change during the All-Star break.
They went into the break on an 8-game losing streak.
And it's a 2-ball, no strike count to Girardi with 2 outs here in the 4th. Yankees lead it 4-1 on Tino Martinez's 29th home run.
Now we just got the news that Justin Thompson, the all-star left-hander for the Tigers, is going to miss his next start. He was scheduled to pitch on Saturday at Yankee Stadium.
Line to the right side, but foul.
He's got a problem with his left elbow. So the youngster who pitched well against the Yankees in Detroit, only to give up a home run in the 9th inning to Charlie Hayes and lose the ball game, and had a 1-2-3 inning in the All-Star game, is now out with elbow problems, and we hope it's not serious. There's a young talent who really can help the fortunes of this Tigers ball club.
And actually a part of this franchise now with a lot of young new players, and starting over, a broken bat grounder right side. Talk about getting sawed off. Bat goes one way, the ball goes the other. The Yankees leave 1 man on here in the 4th. So we go to the 5th inning, and Hideki has a 4-1 lead.
I've been vending Coors Light for a long time. It's who I am. At home, it's, hey, beer man, pass the peas. When the mail comes, it says, hey, beer man, you may have won $10 million. Being the beer man's a wonderful thing. People know Frost Brewed Refreshment. They're always happy to see me, and I'm recognized wherever I go.
Hey, beer man.
Hey, bobbin head doll man. Coors Light! Coors Light!
A tough case of athlete's foot can stop you in your tracks. You get that itching, the cracking, the burning. That's when you want a medicine at Act Stuff. Boom! Tough Actin Tenactin. It cures even tough cases of athlete's foot. Get Tough Actin Tenactin.
The magic of Hercules is coming to McDonald's. Here he is on the big screen.
And here he is on the big plate.
Now you can get one of 6 Hercules plates for just $1.99 at your McDonald's when you buy any large sandwich or a Happy Meal.
And you can get all of Herc's friends from Disney's new movie in theaters now.
Like Zeus?
Phil and Megara.
My friends call me Meg. You can eat off them or put them on your wall.
Just don't do both at the same time.
Boom, bada, boom, boom, boom.
The very latest in safety features. That's why you drive a Ford Taurus. With safety cell construction, airbags, and available anti-lock brakes.
The handling alone makes me feel safe.
Nothing in its class gets a higher crash protection rating than Taurus.
What do you expect? It's the best-selling car in America.
For the 5th straight year.
Now you can get up to $2,500 cash back from Ford, but you better hurry.
Safety first, last, and always. That's why you drive a Ford.
Well, back at the stadium, top of the 5th inning, Yankees lead it 4-1. 63 pitches, 41 strikes. Bobby Mercer along with Ken Singleton. So Kenny Irabu is certainly the real deal so far with 8 strikeouts in this game.
8 strikeouts and 63 pitches, 41 strikes.
Yep.
He's getting the ball over the plate. First pitch to Raul Casanova had a single in the 3rd inning. There's a curveball. We haven't seen too many curves so far tonight. There's a splitter that's swung on and missed. A ball and a strike. I am really impressed with his ability to get the ball over the plate, and particularly to good spots.
Well, he has pitched in front in most of these hitters that have come to the plate. He had one bad inning that came in the third when he walked a couple of batters. He'd only walked one in the minor leagues in 31 innings. But like you brought up, Kenny, it seemed to affect him once a runner got on base. He went to the windup, or to the stretch, that is, and he lost a little bit of velocity and also location.
Good velocity there. Swing and a miss on a 91-mile-per-hour fastball. Irabu now has evened the count to Casanova.
I think it was Joe Torre who said this was going to be a lot of adjustments for Hideki Irabu.
Splitter, chop foul down the first baseline. Casanova was recalled when Matt Wahlbeck went on a disabled list with a broken hand. Now, Casanova had come up briefly last year for Detroit and didn't hit well, but this year he swung the bat pretty well, particularly against the Yankees. Up and in, and the count has gone full at 3-2.
Well, a little chin music with the 93-mile-an-hour fastball.
8 strikeouts in 4 innings, only 3 hits and 2 walks. So he's walked one more man than he walked in 6 starts in the minor leagues. Splitter just got a piece of it as Casanova stays alive with a full count at 3-2.
And when you have a good splitter, this is the kind of swing that you normally get from the offense.
Look at the eyes, focused in on the target.
And look at the spin on the ball, the concentration. Expecting the ball to dip, he hit on top of it.
Payoff pitch. Grounded to the right side and by Tino Martinez down the right field line. O'Neill's going to have to dig it out of the corner. Casanova's headed for second, and he'll be in with a leadoff double. So the Tigers pick up their 4th hit of the ball game and their first extra base hit.
Well, in the last inning, the strikeout string continues with a fastball to strike out Tony Clark, and then that's the fastball, and then the split finger, which is his out pitch, which he normally throws to strike out a hitter and get him out.
Well, Casanova has gotten the Tigers started. Here's Davy Cruz. Had an RBI single in the 3rd inning. Cruz swings at a high fastball, fouls it back, strike 1. He's hitting only .218, but that's only part of the story. He has helped solidify the infield for the Tigers this year. Talking to bench coach Larry Parrish, who's just to the right of Buddy Bell. Buddy Bell appreciates defense. 6 times in a row he won the Gold Glove at 3rd base in the American League. Cruz moving the runner over with a ground ball to the right side. Soho will throw him out. The Tigers now have a man 90 feet away from home plate with 1 out. So Davy Cruz doing the job, moving the runner over against Hideki Irabu.
He looked like he had only one thing in mind, and that was to hit the ball the right side no matter what happened, and that was the proper play, especially for a 9th place hitter.
Well, you heard me say Irabu, and we've also said Irabu. Through his translator, he has said that his name is Irabu. Before the game, we got that confirmed as Brian Hunter takes a pitch for a called strike. But we're going to wait for Bob Shepard to make the change here, because he said Irabu, and I guess he is the most definitive voice here at Yankee Stadium, and we'll just go with what he has to say. Brian Hunter has grounded out twice to Derek Jeter, 0 for 2.
Yeah, what's good enough for Bob is certainly good enough for me at this particular time.
Let's see what Joe Girardi has in mind. Fastball inside. Oh, Hunter. Fighting it off. Couldn't get much extension on that one. In on the hands and very quickly. And once again, the fans look for the strikeout. Every time a Tiger hitter gets 2 strikes, they want Hideki Irabu to put him away. 1 out, a runner at 3rd. Yankees leading 4-1. Call, strike 3. Strikeout number 9 for Hideki Irabu. He's had at least one strikeout in every inning.
And this is a perfect pitch on the inside corner. And that's got to be a 90-mile-an-hour fastball. This is how he set the hitter up. That's the fastball down the middle. And he jams him inside and comes back inside again. Hunter thought it was off the plate. But it's just number 9 for Irabu.
Big strikeout there. Now 2 outs and a runner at third. Bobby Higginson, the hitter. Ground ball on the right side by Soho into right field for a base hit. And the Tigers pick up another run as Casanova scores. And it is now 4-2 Yankees. Fastest pitch of the night, and Higginson turned it around. And that's the difference between major league and minor league hitters. In the minors, they might foul this off.
Foul it off or miss it. And he gets plenty on it because Soho wasn't that far away from the ball before he even hit it.
You can see he's not happy with 2 outs giving up that run after picking up a strikeout. The Tigers needed to hit the score, and they got it from Higginson. Here's Travis Fryman. Pitch is fouled off for strike 1. Fryman tonight hasn't had much success. He has struck out swinging twice. Bobby, you mentioned about the Tigers in their running game. Their next steal will be number 100, and they lead the league in stolen bases. That's another thing that Buddy Bell has turned around with this team.
You know, and I'm surprised tonight, especially in the 3rd inning. They really didn't try to do anything to upset Irabu after all the press on the 7 balks in the minor leagues. They haven't tested him yet.
Well, Fryman in dangerous territory here. He has struck out twice. The count is 0-2. Buddy Bell walking around trying to make something happen.
Yet on the other hand, like Billy Connors had said in the minor leagues, we've made that adjustment for Irabu. He now comes to a stop. Obviously, he's put some fear in the runners.
Just a little bit low, and the count goes to 1-2. Fryman in the 1st inning. Let's check him out here. Splitter. See you later. 3rd inning. Splitter. Have a seat. Now in the 5th inning. Splitter. He doesn't chase it, and Bobby Higginson will steal second base easily.
Now besides Irabu with those 7 balks, that he looks like that now he's come to the stop and he's corrected that. His time to the plate is not good. It's about 2.5 seconds. The average in the major leagues is about 1.2, 1.5. So he is way behind, and it takes him a long time to get the ball to Girardi, which gives that runner a good lead.
They'll never throw anybody out at 2.5. Pitch in the dirt, knocked down by Girardi. The count will go full to Fryman. Higginson has to hold at second. By the way, for Higginson, that was stolen base number 8 on the season.
And that's the splitter, only it just it's a little bit too short. It's about a 55-footer, but a nice stop by Girardi.
Tigers with some power in the middle of the lineup with Higginson, Fryman, and Clark. He doesn't chase again and draws a base on balls. 3rd walk charged to Irabu. And the Tigers have the tying runs on base with 2 outs here in the 5th inning, and Tony Clark coming to the plate, the man who leads this ball club in home runs, and a lot of people thought should have made the All-Star team.
Well, he's got the numbers for the All-Star lineup, but a lot of great first basemen, along with Tino and Frank Thomas, Noel Vaughn, Tony Clark.
They've tried to pitch him up with the fastball. In the dirt once again. Girardi's busy. They have the runner trapped off at first. The throw, not in time. As Fryman got back somehow. And on the play, Higginson moved over to 3rd. The runner goes to 3rd on the fielder's choice.
Now Fryman took off like he thought the runner at second base was going to take off, but the throw is high with Martinez covering, and not a chance for Martinez to put the tag on Fryman. They have him wait. Look how far off the first base bag he is. But the throw is so high that Tino has to make sure that he brings it down. It goes into right field if he doesn't make the play. Look at this. They've got him. But that throw was high and he gets back. So another chance.
First and third now. And ball 2 to Tony Clark. Well, the Yankees almost getting out of the inning, and now Tino Martinez has to hold Fryman on at first base. He represents a tying run, and a left-handed hitter at the plate, and Tony Clark, so the right side is somewhat open. Ball 3. 3-0 to Clark, who steps out to see if he has the green light. Fastball at 92 miles an hour.
Now we notice again with a couple of runners on, it seems that Irabu loses that concentration on the strike zone.
Way outside, and that's ball 4, and the Tigers have loaded the bases. That's the 4th walk charged to Irabu.
Looks like Stottlemyre going down into the dugout. Now the interpreter is down there. Now Girardi out to try to visit with Irabu, but he's got the card in the back of his pocket. And if he wants to translate something to Irabu, he will go to that card as Mel Stottlemyre now joins the conversation on the mound. And you saw Stottlemyre go into the dugout down towards the tunnel. That is where the interpreter is. So I think he asked the interpreter something about what he could say to Irabu in this situation. And now he's taking that out to Irabu and speaking to him. I didn't see Girardi pull anything out of his pocket. So Irabu's pretty savvy. I mean, this is baseball, the same thing. You know, you got to get the guy out, 3 men on, 2 outs, etc.
You got to throw strikes. And then look at Willie Randall. So what'd you say to him? You know what? I think Irabu has been in the United States long enough now and had 6 starts in the minor leagues. He understands a little bit of English. But we'll find out as Bob Hamlin comes to the plate. And the first pitch is a strike. Whatever he told him worked. Charlie Hayes up when it throws the first. And the Yankees get out of it here in the top of the 5th inning. Well, the Tigers pick up a run on a couple of hits. They leave the bases loaded against Irabu. We'll be coming back with the bottom of the 5th. The Yankees lead 4-2.
Hello? Eddie. Hey, little brother, what's up?
Oh, Eddie, I'm not doing so good. I don't have a clue what the coach is saying. I'm 0 for my last 14.
Johnny, you gotta open up.
What do you mean? I'm pulling the ball too much as it is.
No, you gotta open up. Have some fun. Make some friends over there. Play.
Eddie, you won't believe this.
If you love chocolate, peanuts, caramel, and especially Reese's peanut butter, good news. Reese's Nutrageous bars are now 20% bigger.
With its legendary capabilities and tough quadricoil suspension, Jeep Grand Cherokee can take you to all kinds of places far from home. Or not so far from home. Now get great values on the legendary Jeep Grand Cherokee. Check one out at your Jeep and Eagle dealer.
4-2, the Yankees lead it, bottom of the 5th inning. Ken Singleton along with Bobby Mercer tonight. Good crowd on hand to watch Derek Jeter and the Yankees in the opening of a 4-game series against the Detroit Tigers, young and up-and-coming ball club. Jeter tonight has a good night going, a couple of singles, has scored a run. And he'll be leading it off. Soho to follow, and then Williams for the Yankees. And there's another line drive, center field for a base hit. Jeter is 3 for 3. Let's go back to last inning. Conference on the mound, and before the game we talked to catcher Joe Girardi. How is he going to communicate with Hideki Irabu, who speaks very little English?
How do I plan on communicating? In between innings, I'll communicate with the interpreter, probably in the clubhouse, but on the field it's going to be difficult, and it's going to be trial by error. I'm going to have to learn him as quick as I can tonight. He's going to have to trust me. I'm going to have to trust him because no one knows his stuff better than Hideki does.
Peter advancing to third base as we're back following Joe Girardi. But Luis Sojo, who had hit into a double play and grounded out, this time comes up with a double. And the Yankees are threatening against Omar Olivares here in the bottom half of the fifth inning.
What a nice piece of hitting by Sojo, but better off, what a nifty piece of base running by Sojo. Down the left field line, this is Pride, so he goes to third to try to cut down Jeter, but when the throw went to third, Sojo moves into second. He was going to stop at first base until the throw went to third base. So Sojo at second, Girardi checked that Jeter at third, nobody out.
Well, Curtis Pride took a look towards second, and that will be a single. Originally I said a double. That's a single for Sojo. Went to second on the throw. So Bernie Williams, with nobody out, finds runners at second and third against Olivares. As the Yankees tried to increase their 4-2 lead on the Tigers. Sinking fastball is low, ball one. The Tigers headed for the phone. And their bullpen will get busy. Bernie Williams, 51 RBIs on the year. Another sinker, just a little bit low, 2-0. Jose Bautista warming up for the Tigers.
From a hitter standpoint, this is a perfect position to be in, especially with Martinez hitting behind you. Counting your favorite 2-0.
Pitches line towards left field. Pride coming on. He makes the catch. Tagging at third is Jeter. Here's the throw to the plate. It is offline, and he will score. 5-2 Yankees. Give Bernie Williams a sacrifice fly.
Tell you what, when you are a hitter and you got a guy like Jeter at third base, you know, no matter how you hit it or where you hit it in the outfield, you got a good shot of driving that run into third. Bernie hits this ball hard. This is a line drive in left field. Curtis has got the momentum, but it's not even a contest because of Jeter's speed. And the moment the ball goes in the air, he does what he's supposed to do. He goes back to the bag to tag up and never hesitates.
All right, now they're trying to get the attention of catcher Raul Casanova. They don't want any part of Tino Martinez with the base open, and who can blame him? Tino had hit his 29th home run of the year and drove in 3 runs with the homer. With a base open, I mean, this is just primary baseball.
Well, this is what this is respect, and Tino has a lot of respect, not only in the American League, but also throughout baseball, with not only his 29 home runs and 81 RBIs, but it gives Paul O'Neill a chance. And you don't mind that if you're protecting a hitter, and that's the reason that you have to have a guy like O'Neill hitting behind Martinez.
Well, you go back to the third inning, the game was tied at 1, and Tino up with 2 men on. And all of a sudden, the game was untied. It was 4-1 Yankees.
Who said left-handed batters like the ball low and in?
Was it Jim Cotton? Yeah.
You know a pitcher would come up with something like that.
Well, 2 on for Paul O'Neill, who was grounded out and lined out to left field. Nice play by Curtis Pride in the 4th inning. Check that, the 3rd inning. Ball 1. Olivares, the sinker, doesn't have seem to have that sink on it at this point that it had earlier in the ball game.
I think a lot of times you get caught up in the atmosphere that's going on here at Yankee Stadium, and you really almost forget what you're supposed to do.
Hard smash down the left field line, a fair ball. This is headed for the corner. Soho rounding third will score. Tito Martinez in the second on a two-base hit for Paul O'Neill. 6-2 Yankees. Well, O'Neill, as he does so well, hitting the ball to the opposite field.
I mean, when you have Olivares, who's a sinker baller, pitching the ball down and away on a guy that goes the opposite way so good, like O'Neill. And O'Neill hits behind Martinez because of protection, just for the simple reason what he did here.
Well, there's the Curtis Pratt coming up with the ball out of the corner. 28th double of the year from Paul O'Neill. Omar Olivares is out of the ball game. The Tigers go to the bullpen. It's 6-2 Yankees.
Now what is this here?
Alec Baldwin is fresh out of prison, and he's looking for one thing. Trouble. He'll never be a cop, but he likes to act like one.
Stop, or I'll shoot!
He's a thief, a con man, and a killer with a few words of advice.
Don't get caught.
Alec Baldwin, Jennifer Jason Leigh, from the director of Silence of the Lambs, Miami Blues. Tomorrow at 8 on the WB11, New York's movie station.
Good morning, sir. They're expecting you just down the hall.
I said a scalpel, not Excalibur.
TLC, adventures for your mind. It was a sign, them zeros. What do they mean? 4 zeros. Then it all made sense. I was to buy me a new Mitsubishi big screen, big 2-bore VCR. And nobody beats the whiz. 0 down, 0 payments, 0 interest. 0 for 12 months. I'm obliged to my friends from above. I just wish they'd get their own Mitsubishi. Nobody beats the whiz.
In clinical studies, a leading pain medicine significantly reduced minor arthritis pain, increasing range of motion and flexibility. You may be surprised. The medicine in these studies wasn't a pill. It was Bengay. And now, when you use ultra-strength Bengay for your aches and pains, you get the heating power of 3 pain relievers to help you feel better and move better. Ultra-strength Bengay, medicine for your moving parts.
32-year-old right-hander Jose Bautista out of the bullpen for the Tigers. Yankees on top 6-2. 2-2 record, 5.54 ERA.
Yeah, the Yankees were not too kind to Bautista the last time he faced him. In 1 1/3 innings, they came up with 3 runs on only 2 base hits.
One of those hits was a home run by Tito Martinez. He and Casanova talk it over, base open. The Tigers going to bring the infield in against Cecil Fielder, who tonight has not gotten the ball out of the infield. He has popped up and struck out. But here in a prime RBI situation, runners second and third, 1 out, the infield in on the right side, about halfway on the left side. Off-speed pitch is swung on and missed, strike 1.
Bautista started the year in 1997 as a non-roster player, but pitched for the San Francisco Giants in 1996. As you take a look at the base runners, Martinez at third, there's O'Neill down at second, but he had an aneurysm. And his season was cut short back in 96 by aneurysm in his right shoulder.
Grounder rolled foul behind Willie Randolph, the third base coach, and the count goes to 0-2 on Cecil Fielder. Fielder in the hole, no balls and 2 strikes. Yankees trying to increase their lead. They lead at 6-2. They have scored twice here in the 5th inning. Problem for the Tigers this year has been the bullpen. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Another off-speed pitch, and Fielder has struck out, and Not a good reception for Cecil as he heads back to the dugout. Tiger pitchers have struck out 2 Yankee hitters tonight. Both times it's been Cecil Fielder.
Well, just like the Yankee fans when Irabu awaiting his debut, they wanted to see strikeouts from Irabu. They want home runs from Cecil Fielder. And when he doesn't hit one, especially with runners at second and third, they get a little upset, and they let him know about it.
Now it's up to Charlie Hayes. The infield can drop back with 2 outs. Off-speed pitch hit high in the air down the right field line. Coming over is Higginson towards the corner, and this ball is in the seats and out of play. Strike 1 on Charlie Hayes, who has grounded out twice tonight. Higginson gave it a good try over in the corner, but ran out of real estate. Charlie Hayes, a hero in Detroit, as the Yankees swept the Tigers in a 3-game series. Was Charlie Hayes' home run in the 9th inning off of Justin Thompson, who gave the Yankees a 3-1 victory. No balls and a strike on Hayes. That will level the count at 1-1. Now, one thing about this young Tiger ball club, they're the only rotation in baseball that all 5 of their starting pitchers are either at 500 or better. It's the bullpen that's been the problem for Detroit this year.
That's with 10 starts or more. Who would have ever thought that?
Ball strike over the outside corner. Batista's come in throwing strikes.
Considering the kind of year that they had last year. Second year for Buddy Bell and the Tiger organization trying to rebuild this ball club, and they would hope that they would have a contending ball club by the year 2000. That's when they're going to have their brand new stadium built in Detroit.
Off the end of the bat, roll to the right side. Batista bobbles, picks it up, steps on the bag. No, he missed the bag, and a run will score. Tito Martinez makes sure he touches home plate, and it's 7-2 Yankees.
Well, Bautista tries his best as he knocks the ball down with the leather. Keeps it in front of him, picks it up, but he can't find the bag. In fact, he was so far beyond the bag, he couldn't get back. And a good call by Evans at first base. Give a clear look. See how far he was from the bag. He tried to get back to the bag. His momentum was taking him out towards right field, right there, and he never touched it.
Well, he almost got the bag, but it's going to go as an infield single for Charlie Hayes and an RBI.
Oh, that's just the kind you want.
Oh, my goodness. Well, as I mentioned, Buddy Bell appreciates defense, a 6-time Gold Glove winner. But that wasn't the type of defense that he would appreciate.
No.
That has moved O'Neill to third. Hayes now at first. Here's Chad Curtis in the dirt. Nice stop by Casanova. Well, the Yankees have scored 3 times here in the 5th inning and now lead 7-2. Chad Curtis had a clinching home run against Buddy Bell's Tigers in Detroit. He's at 12-9 game. Splitter hangs up high. The count is 2-0. That was that wild ball game that the Yankees had a 9-5 lead. Tigers fought back to tie it 9-9. Tito Martinez hit a home run in the 9th inning, give the Yankees a 10-9 lead, and then Chad Curtis hit a 2-run homer. He's ahead on the count 2-0 against Bautista. And he doesn't chase. 3 balls and no strikes.
We've said it many times that the thing that will put gray hairs on the manager's head is your relievers when you bring them out of the bullpen. Normally they come, as Ramiro Mendoza begins to warm up now for the Yankees, they come in with men in scoring position. They can't throw strikes.
Well, here's another situation where the bases are loaded after a 4-pitch walk. And that's going to bring the pitching coach out of the dugout.
That's Rick Adair, and obviously wants to visit with Bautista to maybe settle him down after that play at first base.
Well, he was about, what, I hate to say it, but a half a foot away from getting out of the inning.
Less than that. You know, you've been out of control sometimes when you're trying to field a play or field the ball on the infield. And,
yeah, a few times.
And yeah, more times than I wanted in my career. And he just got beyond the bag, and momentum was going the opposite way, and he knew he had to get back to the bag in a hurry. Couldn't make it.
Batista came in and struck out Cecil Fielder with runners at second and third, then gave up the infield hit for a run. Now has walked Chad Curtis to load the bases. Johnson Thompson looks on. Joe Girardi at the plate, swings, hits a high fly ball to right center field. Brian Hunter with his speed, along with Bobby Higginson, and it's Higginson who makes the catch. So the Yankees bat around, send 9 men to the plate here in the 5th inning. They score 3 times against the Detroit Tigers, and now lead 7-2.
Imagine if getting gas were more like mid-flight refueling. We have at the new, faster, easier Shell. Shell, moving at the speed of life.
To most people, this is just a uniform. But to me, it's something more. Every time I put it on, it makes me feel better and stronger than I was yesterday. When I'm in this uniform, I know no limits. You gotta see the pride in my mom's eyes. Or the way my friends look up to me. But none of that matches the satisfaction I feel inside. That's the pride of being a soldier in the U.S. Army.
Interested in wearing this uniform? Then now is the best time to call this toll-free number. Because we've got new incentives that make joining more rewarding than ever. Now you can earn up to $40,000 for college. Or if you have college loans, we'll help you pay back up to $65,000. Or you may qualify for an enlistment bonus of up to $12,000. Ready to wear this uniform? Call now for more information. There's no obligation. Call today. Find out how the Army can
bring out the best.
The best of what's inside you.
Be all you can be.
The magic of Hercules is coming to McDonald's. Here he is on the big screen.
And here he is on the big plate.
Now you can get one of 6 Hercules plates for just $1.99 at your McDonald's when you buy any large sandwich or a Happy Meal.
And you can get all of Herc's friends from Disney's new movie in theaters now.
Like Zeus?
Phil and Megara.
My friends call me Meg. You can eat off them or put them on your wall.
Just don't do both at the same time.
Boom, bada boom, boom, boom.
Top of the 6th inning. Hideki Irabu now with a 5-run lead. The Yankees up 7-2. They have out hit the Tigers 7-5. Irabu, who has picked up 9 strikeouts tonight, facing Damian Easley, who has struck out twice. Pitches up high, ball 1. That is the NHK network, and this game is going back to Japan. Let's pick up a little bit of how they're calling the game. As we'll listen to Ken Fukuhara and Masasaki Mori.
必要以上に感じてると思うんですよね。
そうでしょうね。6番のイーズリーに対するイラブ。カウント1エンド1。詰まった。ジラウディ。取った。1アウト。6回1アウトを取ったイラブ。5点をリードして勝利投手の権利。しかも力でねじ伏せるピッチング見事です。さあこの問題の今日は下位打線に森さん打たれていますから、ここをピシャッと抑えたいですね。
そうですね、まあこの回が進めばですね、得点が入って7回ということもあるでしょうし、まあでもね今の3点というのはものすごくイラブにとっては大きいと思うんですね。
そうでしょうね。7番レフトのプライド、バットが全く遅れています。見事イラブ。90マイル、145キロのストレート、イラブ秀樹。日本人初登板で初勝利なるか。92マイル、148キロ、憧れのピンストライプを着ましたイラブ。 周囲の本当に声に惑わされず、しっかりと集中力で投げ切っています。双方からマルチネスにツーアウト。
Well, Luis Soho with the second out of the inning. As we listen to the Japanese announcers, Ken Fukuhara and Masasaki Mori, who is the winningest manager in Japanese baseball history.
And they're waving.
Yeah.
To the WB11 fan base. Well, that's something new from WB11. Sounds just like you, though, Ken.
You think so?
Yep.
Here's Raul Casanova. Thank you, Ken. Charlie Hayes on the backhand. Throw off balance is in time. What a play. Some kind of defense by Charlie Hayes at third base. A 1-2-3 inning for Irabu here in the sixth. Another look at Charlie Hayes as he closes out the Tiger hopes in the sixth inning. And Irabu with a tip of the cap. That's defense anywhere.
This summer, your kids will be easier to take with Pan Am's Kids Fly Free Sale. So if you're flying to Los Angeles or Miami, you can take one child for free and save 50% off each additional child when you purchase our special summer sale fare. And we now fly to LA and Miami 3 times a day, every day. So make your reservations today, because if you miss our Kids Fly Free Sale, it's a crying shame. Call your travel agent or 1-800-FLY-PAN-AM.
We know nobody beats the Wiz. No, we know. Yeah, we know.
We know. Good morning, sir. They're expecting you just down the hall.
I said a scalpel, not Excalibur.
TLC, adventures for your mind.
It has one of the industry's most comprehensive warranty packages, but there's more to the stylish Elantra. With a Best Buy award from Consumers Digest, there's no doubt it's a whole new Hyundai.
Lease an Elantra for just $149 a month during our 10-minute test drive summer sale.
There's a score, 7-2 Yankees as we go to the bottom of the sixth. Take another look at the play that helped the Hideki Irabu out of the top of the sixth.
I don't know how many times he would see this type of play in Japan, maybe a few, but here in America, you don't see a play like this very often. What a play by Charlie Hayes, and that's got to build your confidence up as he awaits Hayes to come on to give him a high five. Well, he at least knows how to do the high five, right? He knows what that means.
2, 3, 4 steps off. It looked like a quarterback under fire and comes up off balance, touchdown across the diamond. Wow. Now Charlie thinking about that hit.
The other part's easy.
Top of the order for the Yankees. Derek Jeter's had a perfect night. 3 for 3, has scored 2 of the 7 Yankee runs. And he's jumped his average up over 290 at 291. He's trying to put a stranglehold on that leadoff spot. I don't think it'll be available when Raines gets back.
If Raines gets back, he's had a setback in the rehab assignment down in Florida. The leg is just not getting any better, and once he gets to a point where he thinks he can move to the next level, he pulls it again.
Jeter with a shot through the middle. He's 4 for 4. And this is the 3rd time in a game he has led off an inning with a base hit.
All hits have gone up the middle except for one. Went to second base for an infield hit. And when Jeter is hitting, that's where he hits the ball.
Tomorrow on the WB11 8 o'clock movie, Alec Baldwin is a man with a dark past. He's a crazed killer posing as a cop, and he's trying to take the law into his own hands. It's the suspense thriller Miami Blues tomorrow night at 8 on the WB11, New York's movie station. Here's Luis Sojo. Got a base hit, helped set up a 3-run inning in the 5th for the Yankees. The Yankees batted around last inning. Jeter's 4 hits ties his career high. He's at first. Yankees up by 5. Sojo taking all the way, and it's ball 1.
Boy, normally the story tonight would be Kenny Rogers and Mariano Duncan back in uniform for the Yankees, but that's taken away by the debut of Hideki Irabu because of the rescission of the trade with San Diego. But now the Yankees back with 3 second basemen.
Duncan in the dugout watching Sojo, one of the other Yankees second basemen at the plate. Sojo is 1 for 3. Ball and no strikes on Sojo, who with the base hit jumped his average up to 306. Taking all the way again, and this is a strike. 1-1.
Well, we were talking about Kenny Rogers back in uniform, and so Kenny begins to warm up. It's been at least 5 days since Kenny has pitched. And worked out, I guess. He didn't work out. He did fly to San Diego, took a physical out there, and midway through that physical, he learned that the trade was called off.
Jeter's on the move. The ball is rolled slowly down the third base line. Tough play for Fryman. He can't handle it. This will be an infield single for Luis Sojo. Well, the Yankees pick up another infield hit and now have 2 on, nobody out here in the 6th inning.
Well, a guy that has done that many times probably makes the play with Buddy Bell, but he sees Fryman here. It's just one of those do-or-die plays when you try to pick it up barehanded. Fryman playing fairly deep at third base on Sojo, and it's what you call the swinging bunt base hit.
Well, you talked about Buddy Bell and his defense. I used to try and keep the ball away from him.
Yeah, really.
Because you're going to be out if you hit anything in his direction.
Talk about a human vacuum cleaner.
Anything soft or hard, he could come up with it and throw it across the diamond. And of course, for my speed, that was an easy out. Here's Bernie Williams, 2 on. Nobody out. Bernie drove in a run in the 5th inning with a sacrifice fly. Bautista starts him out of the strike zone with ball 1. Tiger bullpen is busy. Yankees threatening again against Bautista. Roberto Duran. When the Tigers get in a fight, they're in good shape. That's ball 2.
No biting, though.
Tito Martinez on deck. Right, the Yankees have Martinez followed by O'Neill, so that's why the left-handed Duran is up in the bullpen. The Yankees tried to increase a 5-run lead. 7-2 here at the top of the 6th. Williams calls time.
The performance of Hideki Irabu tonight in his debut. If you look down the road in the Yankee pitching staff, and that's what Joe Torre has been talking about, is if we are actually going to contend, the pitching is going to take us as far as we can go. And Irabu with 9 strikeouts in the game and a 7-2 lead. You put him in that starting rotation, and the diversification and the depth that they have, along with Cone and Pettit, Irabu, and then Doc Gooden. Romero Mendoza, he can start or relieve. I mean, they have probably one of the best pitching staffs all around in baseball now.
Doc coming back from hernia surgery has thrown well since coming off the DL. I mean, that's what wears down the rest of the league. When you can put a quality pitcher out there night after night, the other teams can't stay with you. There's Andy Pettit, David Wells. Ground ball to the right side. Backhanded by Clark. Throws the second for 1. On the first, Bernie Williams beats the relay. So they get the middle runner. As Sojo is erased on the fielder's choice.
Yeah, nice play by Clark, and he does what he has to do. He gets 1 at first. This is a very tough play for the pitcher to get over, and to try to get over fast enough that you can be there and in balance to take the throw. So Bernie with that good speed, that was a difficult play, but they do get one. And Buddy Bell on his way to the mound. With Tino Martinez coming to play, you know what that means. He's going to go to the bullpen.
Well, he had the left-handed Duran up. Bautista is gone. The Yankees lead 7-2. Roberto Duran enters the ring. 7-2 Yankees.
Once they wore the same uniform. Go ahead, shoot me. Once they fought side by side.
Your ship is defenseless. I could destroy it right now.
Until an act of treason.
You betrayed your uniform!
Became an act of war.
And he beat me!
Now, how far will Cisco go?
It's not over between us!
To even the score on the next Star Trek Deep Space Nine.
Saturday at 7 on the WB11.
We could not deny the RAV4 our top ranking.
The RAV4 breaks expected molds.
The RAV4 rides a great deal better than many a sedan.
Handling in both RAV4 models is excellent.
The all-new RAV4 recreational activity vehicle starts at only $15,118. Maybe we should start calling it the Rave 4.
Driving it is great fun.
The magic of Hercules is coming to McDonald's. Here he is on the big screen.
And here he is on the big plate.
Now you can get one of 6 Hercules plates for just $1.99 at your McDonald's when you buy any large sandwich or a Happy Meal.
And you can get all of Herc's friends from Disney's new movie in theaters now.
Like Zeus?
Phil and Megara.
My friends call me Meg. You can eat off them or put them on your wall.
Just don't do both at the same time.
Boom, bada boom, boom, boom.
Yankees leading the Tigers. Hey, sports fans, how far would you go to see the big game on cable? Tonight on Seinfeld, Jerry gets a deal he can't refuse. When a crooked cable guy pays a visit, will Jerry get hooked up with more than he's bargained for? Find out tonight at 11, only on the WB11.
Well, a young arm out of the bullpen, Roberto Duran. Now, what will he be throwing? He'll probably be throwing a uppercut here and a jab over there. One thing that he does do, he strikes out a lot of players. 14.8 strikeouts as an average per 9 innings. That was in Double-A baseball. He was called up on the 4th of July. So this is what you have a lot of times when you have a club and franchise rebuilding. You get players from A and Double-A, and these are their prospects. This is what this franchise is going to be built on, they hope. And so you're getting a chance to see some of those young arms, some of the people that they are counting on for the next couple of years.
Well, Duran in a tough situation facing Tino Martinez, who has homered once today, scored a couple of runs, driven in 3. Jeter over at third, Bernie Williams at first. So speed on the bases for the Yankees. Duran facing Martinez with 1 out. And a good fastball is fouled back for strike 1.
Didn't look like Tino was intimidated by that first pitch.
Duran with a 2-2 record at Jacksonville and a 2.21 earned run average. We mentioned that this has been the problem for the Tigers, the bullpen. So they're going to plug in a youngster and let him work in relief.
Well, here's a good opportunity to find out what Duran is made of.
Look out. Breaking ball. I don't know how that missed Tino.
Well, when you're hitting and seeing the ball as well as Martinez is right now, I mean, you pick it up right there, and you know you can see the spin. That ball looks to be about a softball size.
That ball looked like it was destined to hit him right between the 2 and the 4 in the middle of the bat.
Good thing it was a breaking ball.
A ball and a strike on Martinez. There's ball 2.
Well, many people talk now about the Roger Maris single season home run record being broken here in 1997. When you pick up the papers, they say for sure somebody is going to break that record. Whether it be Junior or McGuire, Tino.
Ball 3-1.
But I say there's been a lot of hitters in the past who have had, you know, 30, 33, 34 home runs at the All-Star break and somehow sputter and don't make it past 45 or 50.
Didn't Reggie have 37 in 1969? Ended up with 47.
40, was it 47? Yeah.
Only hit 10 the rest of the way. 3-1 the count. Good hitters count for Tito Martinez. Jeter trying to talk it over with Willie Randolph to see if Bernie Williams is going to be moving on this 3-1 pitch. 1 out. The Yankees trying to add to a 7-2 lead. There's a look at Bernie at first. Inside, ball 4. The bases are loaded. So Duran walks the first man he faces. And Buddy Bell sees the Yankees load the bases again. The Atlanta Braves leading the Mets 5-3, top of the 7th at Turner Field. This afternoon at Wrigley, it was the Cardinals beating the Cubs 3-2. Gary Gaetti with a home run to win it. Florida over Philadelphia 5-2 in the 6th. The Phillies' woes continue. Houston 7-0 over Pittsburgh in the 6th. San Diego leading Colorado. The Rockies have stumbled of late. They've lost 6 in a row. They're losing 4-0 in the 1st.
Now you can just imagine what Rick Adair is saying to this young left-handed arm. Probably saying to him, look, big crowd on hand, Hideki Irabu mania going on here at Yankee Stadium. Don't worry about it. These guys are just like you are. They put their pants on the same way you do. Just throw the ball over. Don't try to be too fine. Don't try to make your greatest pitch every time for these hitters. Throw strikes.
It looked like he was pitching afraid of Tino Martinez. Was nowhere near the strike zone. Now he has to come in with strikes to Paul O'Neill. And he does. Or does not. Wow, that looked pretty good. Doug Brocail, a right-hander, gets up. Cecil Fielder is on deck. A ball and no strikes. That's low. 2-0. So Duran, who has dealt himself a bad hand by walking Tito Martinez to load the bases. Jeter, Williams, and Martinez on for the Yankees. O'Neill has driven in a run with a double. That came last inning. Ball 3. 3 balls and no strikes. Highest batting average with runners in scoring position in the American League. Jeff Cirillo. Paul O'Neill. B.J. Surhoff, Tim Salmon, and the big hurt, Frank Thomas. Pitches high, ball 4. The Yankees have scored again. Jeter can trot home with the 8th run of the night for the Yankees as Duran walks his 2nd straight man since coming out of the bullpen. And Buddy Bell, he said he wanted to find out what this youngster is made of. And so far, he hadn't thrown too many strikes.
He's walked the only 2 men that he's faced, and those have been left-handed hitters. Now he's got to face a right-hander if Bell stays with him. This inning is certainly not over for the Yankees.
Only 1 out. Cecil Fielder up with the bases loaded. Has popped up and struck out twice. Pitch is fouled off.
Now Cecil going up swinging at the first pitch, probably figuring that since he walked the only 2 left-handed batters that he's faced, that he's just going to try to lay one in there for me. Try to get ahead.
That looked to be a pretty good pitch over the outer half.
And as Cecil has done so many times this year, fouling the ball back or off to the right side, not being able to contact or make good contact and put the ball in play when he gets his pitch.
There's a good fastball to the inside corner, 0-2.
Cecil's bat speed through the strike zone has not been the same in 1997 as it was in 96.
Look at the runners. Young man from Dominican Republic, Mocha, Dominican Republic. Cecil fouls it off to the right. He stays alive, but in the hole, no balls and 2 strikes. Yankees 4 in the third, 3 in the fifth, and 1 here in the sixth against Buddy Bell's Tigers. 8-2, Yankees leading. Charlie Hayes is on deck. Young Roberto Duran on the mound. Breaking ball misses, and it's 1-2.
You know, one of the things that's happened to Fielder in '97 is he's got that huge hitch in his swing, and his timing has been off. Either that or he's lost some bat speed.
Fastball, got it. Duran once again spotting the fastball over the inside corner. His first strikeout, the third for Cecil Fielder tonight.
Well, it is so strange sometimes when pitchers, and this pitching sequence, fastball outside looked like to be the pitch for Cecil. That one inside, then he goes for a high pitch. A breaking ball misses inside. Cecil obviously looking out over the plate. That one was inside for a strike, so it's third strikeout for Cecil, and each and every time he strikes out, the crowd lets him know about it.
Pitches outside to Charlie Hayes, ball one. Not only 3 strikeouts for Cecil, but each one of the Tiger pitchers struck him out once. Charlie Hayes made a great play in the field, had a single and an RBI in the 5th inning, an infield single. He takes a pitch over the inside corner, 1-1. Bases loaded down, 2 outs.
Sometimes you go back scratching your head saying he walks Martinez and he walks O'Neill, couldn't throw one close to being a strike, and then he comes in and makes great pitches on me. You've heard the why me theory, haven't you?
Why me, yeah. I've said that. 2 balls and a strike. Meanwhile, Irabu has gotten some more run support as the Yankees now lead by 6. He's trying to stay loose in the dugout.
This has been 2 innings in a row that the Yankees have used a lot of offense and a lot of time in between innings.
Ball 3. Way upstairs to Charlie Hayes.
Kenny Rogers has been throwing for quite some time in the Yankee bullpen.
I would think he's all warmed up.
And I would think that if Joe Torre was going to make a pitching change, he'd want to get Kenny Rogers in the game as soon as possible.
3-1 the count on Charlie Hayes. And that is low ball 4. Another run has been forced in. Bernie Williams will score. It is 9-2 Yankees. I mentioned the Tigers have gotten to within 3 games of 500. They've won 9 of their last 12. Going into the break, they won 3 in a row against the Orioles. But as they start up the second half here, this has been a rough night.
Now the Tigers begin a 11-game road swing. They're the club's longest road trip so far. But the 4 games starting here in New York, and they move off to Boston, Anaheim, and then Texas.
And Charlie Hayes, another RBI, his second of the night. Brad Curtis, who likes that high fastball, swings and fouls it back. On 1 the count. And the Yankees have gotten a couple of free runs this inning. 3 walks in the inning along with 2 base hits. Breaking ball hangs high, 1-1. Now we mentioned a good crowd on hand tonight, 51,901 to see the debut of Hideki Irabu, and he's proven one thing: he can draw people to the stadium.
He's proven that a 4-year contract worth about 12 million plus, paying dividends early.
Ball 2.
I don't know that the Yankees would have drawn 51,000 for the Tigers first game back on Thursday night after the All-Star break. Maybe they would. I don't know. I doubt it.
Well, let's put it this way: if he averages this much per start, a lot of people are going to be happy.
And his next start will be what, Tuesday?
Yeah. Ball 3. Well, Roberto Duran 1 ball away from forcing in another run. and pushing the Yankees and Hideki Irabu to 10 runs on the night.
Maybe pushing Irabu out of the game because of this long inning.
Inside, ball 4. Tito Martinez will score. It is 10-2 Yankees. And Buddy Bell has seen enough from his young left-hander. Duran picked up a strikeout, but he also walked 4 men.
Well, if you're trying to make an impression, obviously you're going in the wrong direction when you can't throw strikes. Bell gave him a chance to redeem himself after a couple of walks, but it didn't happen. So another pitching change here in the 6th inning. Yankees blowing it out here at Yankee Stadium. We'll be back right after this.
And the next all-new Hercules.
My name's Calista.
She's Cena's greatest enemy.
You're insane.
Just misunderstood.
No, she's out to destroy Hercules.
Why can't you just die like a good boy?
It's not over yet.
Then
Cena's inside me.
Cena's spirit is trapped between life and death.
She wants me to get her body back.
Archers, kill him! Where is Cena?
On the next Cena. Saturday at 8 and 9 on the WB11.
In clinical studies, a leading pain medicine significantly reduced minor arthritis pain, increasing range of motion and flexibility. You may be surprised. The medicine in these studies wasn't a pill. It was Bengay. And now, when you use ultra-strength Bengay for your aches and pains, you get the heating power of 3 pain relievers to help you feel better and move better. Ultra-strength Bengay, medicine for your moving parts.
The Michelin X1, with a 6-year unlimited mileage tread life warranty, gives you better wet traction than any rain tire, plus Michelin control in most driving conditions. After all, it hasn't rained that much in years.
If you love chocolate, peanuts, caramel, and especially Reese's peanut butter, good news. Reese's Nutrageous bars are now 20% bigger.
Doug Brocail out of the bullpen for the Detroit Tigers, 30-year-old right-hander. Quite in that big deal with the San Diego Padres. He came along from Houston, along with Brian Hunter, Todd Jones, Orlando Miller, and a player to be named later. And Brocail will try and stop the bleeding here for the Tigers here in the 6th. The Yankees scored 3 times, and for the 2nd straight inning, the Yankees have batted around, or more or less this inning they have walked around, as Duran is now out of the game, and the veteran right-handed Brocail will come in. Girardi swings at the first pitch, lifts a fly ball to medium center field. Brian Hunter back, makes the catch. Brocail throws 1 pitch and gets the Tigers out of the inning. Well, the Yankees now lead it 10-2.
Why do I come out here? Because the playing field's level, but the stairs never are. Because if I can't get frost-brewed Coors Light to the fans cold, those guys in the Rockies froze their butts for nothing. So I scale concrete every night. Because somewhere there's a guy eating peanuts or some nachos, and he's thinking of me. Coors Light! Coors Light! Absolutely.
If you love chocolate, peanuts, caramel, and especially Reese's peanut butter, good news. Reese's Nutrageous bars are now 20% bigger.
It's difficult to improve on works of nature, but somehow we managed. Introducing the new Jeep Cherokee. With over 40 advancements, it's not just different, it's better.
Oh, great prices. If you like bargains, check out 10321.
They save over AT&T on every call in the country.
10321 saves me 50% on all calls over 20 minutes.
It could cut your bill in half.
I can call Japan for 40 cents a minute.
I didn't even have to sign up. Now I can talk to my mother twice as long.
Thank goodness for 10321.
Very funny.
It goes before the 1 area code
And number.
103.
9 tonight for Hideki Irabu as he has struck out 9 Tigers.
Well, you're going to get a chance to look at these 9 strikeouts as he just continues to mow them down. That's Bob Hammond, the designated hitter. He had 4 strikeouts through the first 2 innings.
Well, he had so many strikeouts we couldn't show them all on replay, but here's Davy Cruz leading off against Irabu in the 7th. He's trying to get to double figures in strikeouts tonight. Didn't strike anybody out last inning. The only inning he hasn't struck out a Tiger hitter. Fly ball to left field. And Chad Curtis is stationed underneath it and puts it away.
You know, if you're a stat freak out there and you're looking to see what the most Ks are in a major league debut, for the American League record, it was Elmer Myers back in 1915. And he struck out 12 in the American League. So that's the American League record. The all-time record is Carl Spooner for the Brooklyn Dodgers back in 1954. Also, J.R. Richard had 15 with Houston.
There's Brian Hunter. Did you ever hit against J.R.?
Yes, I did.
I didn't. Thank goodness.
It was a nightmare a lot of times.
Ground ball to Soho. 2 up and 2 down here in the 7th inning for Robert.
Boy, it has been a lot of time in between the last 2 innings. But you know, Irabu, he has those magnets up and down his arm, all the way up from the wrist, all the way up his arm through the right shoulder. And the magnets are supposedly some type of thing that keeps the blood flowing and helps keep the blood flowing. Joe Torre on his way out there, so maybe the 2 innings that he was sitting on the bench, maybe those magnets obviously help. He's been pitching with them his whole career. Check this ovation for Hideki Irabu. Trying to send him out for another ovation. You know?
Well, Irabu 6 2/3 innings with 9 strikeouts. Yesterday playing catch with the mayor, and today playing catch with Joe Girardi in a more meaningful ball game.
Well, that was Mayor Giuliani, who is on hand to watch this debut by Irabu, and a lot of fans from a lot of cultures around tonight to watch this, what you would say would be a phenom now. I mean, he was quoted as being the Nolan Ryan from Japan in Japanese baseball.
I think it was a good move by Joe Torre. He wanted to take him out during the inning so the fans could give him an ovation and give the young man a thrill of pitching in his first ball game that he would never forget.
No doubt that was planned, and planned perfectly for Joe Torre. And look at the smile on Mel Stottlemyre's face. Don't think that they don't realize what this means to their pitching staff and what they can do here in the second half. Now, somebody said something that he understood, and it was funny. It's probably David Wells. You never know. He may speak Japanese fluently. They're going for some sushi, looks like.
Yeah, with the Yankees up 10-2, a lot of people are going to try and beat the traffic. Remember, big crowd tonight, 51,901.
Shoot, that's a sushi break. What are you talking about?
And don't forget this Sunday, fans, the New York Yankees are back on the WB11. Be there for all the hard-hitting action as the Bronx Bombers try to tame the Detroit Tigers starting Sunday afternoon at 1:30 here on the WB11. And once again, we watch Irabu. And the Yankee teammates greet him as he heads back to the dugout. He's got an 8-run lead. And what a performance by the 28-year-old right-hander. And he's happy. Wow.
Well, they came with a lot of fanfare, and George Steinbrenner made the effort to sign Irabu. It looked like that San Diego was not going to release the rights to Irabu, but somehow the Yankees worked it out, worked out the contract, got the rights to negotiate with him, and like Irabu said, I only will pitch for the New York Yankees no matter what happens.
Jeff Nelson out of the bullpen. He'll be in relief here with 2 outs in the 7th. See the numbers on Nelson. 45 strikeouts in 44 2/3 innings. And he'll face Melvin Nieves, who will pinch hit for Bobby Higginson. Pitches up high for ball 1.
I don't think Bobby Higginson hurt himself. Maybe Bell just giving Nieves a chance to play and hit in this situation.
I see Phil Nevin in the on-deck circle. It looks as though Buddy Bell's going to empty his bench here and give some of the regulars some time off, although they just came off the All-Star break.
Well, 10-2 lead. Then, hey, Irabu is gone. Let's put a couple more guys in there, get them a couple of at-bats, get them started, acclimated to the second half.
2 balls and a strike on Nieves, who is primarily the right fielder. Pitch misses inside. Although Nieves is one of those young sluggers who has a lot of problems making contact. He has already struck out 100 times this year. But he also hit a home run off Nelson in Detroit that tied the score in that 12-9 game, a 3-run shot.
Well, the ball club comes in with 105 strikeouts. And you take a look at the Toyota box score. That's 5th in the American League. They were notorious for striking out last year.
There's a swing and a miss, strike 3. Well, Nieves goes down on strikes. Nelson picks up the final out here in the top of the 7th. Hideki Irabu's night is over as the Yankees lead it 10-2.
Delta's enhanced transatlantic business class, we know how to treat you like an individual. That's why we fly more individuals worldwide than any other airline. Delta Airlines, on top of the world.
It's kind of like Louis Armstrong. It's kind of like Neil Armstrong. The Infinity I-30. Own one, and you'll understand.
Watch out. Once the crave gets you, it's got you. Now get a 32-ounce drink and you got a cool cup. Free. White Castle.
Well, the fans didn't need the 7th inning stretch to rile them up tonight. The Yankees leading 10-2 as we go to the bottom of the 7th. Melvin Nieves has taken over in right field, and Phil Nevin now playing third base for the Tigers. Derek Jeter's had a perfect night going. He's 4 for 4. He has scored 3 of the 10 runs.
Well, Derek looking to break into new chartered water. He's had 4 hits in the game 3 times, but never 5.
Curveball dropped in by Doug Brocail, and the count goes to 0-2. Brocail misses with a breaking ball.
And you know as well as I do, Ken, that new chartered water is better than old chartered water. But old charter in water is not bad either.
Now Jeter up there with a count of 1-2. Jeter was hit by a pitch by Doug Brocail in Detroit. And that was after Brocail came in to face Chad Curtis. First man he faced hit a 2-run homer off of him. They got Jorge Posada out, and then he drilled Jeter. And Jeter didn't like it. The bench is empty. No punches were thrown, although Brocail was thrown out of the game. Jeter swings. A bouncing ball just fouled out of third base side. Here's a look at the Toyota box score here at the bottom of the 7th inning. Jeter right on top with a big 4 for 4 nights. Pat Kelly has come out of the dugout. He'll pitch hit for Luis Sojo. Strike 3 call. Well, Jeter struck out by Brocail. So Jeter will not set a personal high tonight in hits in a ball game.
A perfect pitch on the outside corner. Jeter showed that he had bat speed on the pitch prior to that, pulling it foul left side. And then Brocail goes outside again to paint the corner.
And now the pinch hitter, Pat Kelly, with a .221 seasonal average. Luis Sojo had a 2 for 4 night with a run scored. And Kelly comes off the bench swinging a bat, a base hit in the right field. So that number 2 spot is hot tonight for the Yankees.
2 spot is hot at second base. Sojo, before leaving the ball game, he had 2 base hits. And Kelly batting here for the first time in the 7th inning. He had 1, so it's 3 hits for the second spot.
7 hits in the first 2 spots in the lineup. Bring up Bernie Williams looking for his first hit tonight. He's driven in a run. Well, the sacrifice fly and has scored a couple of runs. Well, it looks like the Yankees are going to get off to a good start after the All-Star break. Now, this is the beginning of a 4-game series against the Tigers. Ball strike to Bernie. Brian Moeller will pitch for Detroit tomorrow night against Andy Pettitte. Doug Brocail. Man on, 1 out. Off-speed pitch misses. Brocail, who started out with the San Diego Padres, went through a 1993 season in which he went 4-13. Started 24 times for the Padres that year. All strike to Bernie. A ball and 2 strikes. He was speaking of Brocail, was a former #1 pick of the Padres.
Tiger pitching staff overall came in 6th place. And club pitching.
An appeal, and Bernie has struck out. It's Dan Morrison, third base umpire. Brocail picks up his 2nd strikeout of the inning as Bernie Williams goes too far.
And a pretty good split finger there, and you make the call. Did Bernie go too far or not? Was the intent to swing? And it looked like a pretty good call by Merriweather. Peeling down to third base Morrison.
Here's Tino Martinez. His 3-run home run in the 3rd inning turned this ball game around. He's also walked a couple of times, once intentionally. Tino has driven in 3 and scored 3.
Tino has that sweet swing. He doesn't jump at the ball. He's got quick hands. He's got good command of the strike zone. Always seems to pick a good pitch to hit. And when you are in that type of mode, most of the time when you're hitting, the count is in your favor.
A little bit low, and it's in his favor once again. 2 balls and a strike. He's been locked in for most of the season. Had a stretch of about 150 at-bats where he didn't do too much offensively, but he got it going and got it going again big time. Home run in the 3rd inning was his 29th of the year. Out in front, he pops it foul behind home plate. Long run for Casanova. Well, this is out of play.
And Brocail on a 2-1 pitch had Tino out in front on a breaking ball, knowing that he is sitting on dead red with Kelly at first base.
Fastball off the glove of Brocail to Davy Cruz. The throw to first is in time, and Tino Martinez and the Yankees are retired here in the 7th inning. Doug Brocail heads back to the dugout, but the Tigers on the short end of a 10-2 score.
You remember the unrelenting disabled list? Down 6 in Game 4. Maybe you began to question if they had anything left, but watched in awe as they ran on legs that screamed for mercy. Surgery, dropping the first 2. Funny how obstacles disappear when seen through the eyes of fans who believe. The world learned that adversity is nothing compared to the power of pride. It's why we are who we are. We're your world champions.
Every once in a blue moon, something new comes along that scrambles your preconceptions and turns out to be a whole new omelet. Like whoever thought you could say luxury car and fun in the same sentence? Well, we did. In fact, we said it in one word, Catera, a proud new addition to our luxury family. It's the caddy that zigs. Lisa Catera. See your authorized Cadillac Catera Tri-Statesman. Well, who is Lisa Catera?
We'd like to remind you that whenever you make it a blockbuster night, you never need a babysitter. The parking is always free. The atmosphere is as casual as the dress code. And you always get the best seat in the house. With thousands of blockbuster videos to choose from, we'd like you to remember that when it comes to a great night with the family, there's no place like home. There's no place like home. Make it a blockbuster night.
Top of the 8th inning, 10-2. The Yankees leading the Tigers. Fans, let's check out the turning point of the game, brought to you by GMC. Turning point came in the 4th inning. Tigers had a man on against Hideki Irabu, but then he went to work. Struck out 3 men in the inning. The Yankees at this time had a 4-1 lead. Looked like the Tigers were trying to get something going, but Mr. Irabu said no way. And that was it for the Tigers in the 4th. And as we head to the 8th inning, the Yankees leading 10-2.
And a new second baseman, Pat Kelly, goes in after pitch hitting for Luis Sojo in the last inning and delivered a base hit, so he'll stay in for the defensive side of it. And the Tigers come to bat here in the top of the 8th inning. We showed you that GMC turning point of the game in the 4th inning when Irabu struck out 3 men in that inning, collecting his 8th strikeout, and he only got 1 more strikeout after that, and that covered like 2 2/3 innings as Todd Jones now begins to warm up for the Tigers. But a long time waiting in the Yankee dugout for the Yankee batters to bat around in the 5th and 6th innings. 2-1 count now to Nevin, leading off here in the 8th. Nevin went in to play third base for Fryman, so he hits for Fryman here in the 8th. Middle of the order for the Tigers coming up. Good breaking ball by Nelson. Now it's 2-2.
Nelson has that movement on the fastball that runs in on the right-handed hitters, and then that slider that goes abruptly away. So he has pitches that goes in 2 different directions. Really tough on right-handers.
And the Yankee bullpen really straightening themselves out right before the second half started. The roles are coming to fruition now. Nelson, Stanton, Mariano. And the breaking ball on a 3-2 pitch, striking out Nevin.
Well, now 11 Tigers have struck out in tonight's ball game, and see Devin kind of hesitate and knee buckle. The ball breaks over the plate for call, strike 3. That's what I mean by tough against right-handers.
Yeah, we've talked about the bullpen with Tony Clark stepping in. In the last 7 games, the Yankee bullpen with an earned run average of 0.77. And the reason for that is because of Nelson and Stanton and Mariano and Graham Lloyd, Nasir,
Ramiro Mendoza now.
Ramiro with some diversification, starting and also relieving. The worst seat in the house is the bullpen. Until they call you in to the game on the line. 51,000. All eyes are on you. And now it's a 1-1 count with Clark. One away here in the 8th inning. Yankees in front 10-2. It really hasn't been a ball game since the 3rd inning when Tino, with his 29th home run, put the Yankees in front 4-1. And that pitch foul back on a play.
The Yankees with 3 big innings, 4 in the 3rd, 3 in the 5th, and then 3 more in the 6th. So when they started scoring, they kept it going. Twice batting around in the game. Graham Lloyd up and throwing in the bullpen.
A 1-2 count to Clark with 1 out here in the 8th. And a foul in the Yankee dugout. A lot of the 51,000 have left the stadium. I guess it's just all downhill from this point on as far as Irabu's debut is concerned. Yankees in front 10-2. They came to see what they wanted to see, and they saw it and left. Now, like you said, they'll expect the same thing Tuesday, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody's leaving as far as Irabu is concerned. He's still in the Yankee dugout.
Looked like Nelson slipped after delivering that last pitch. He was wiping the real estate of the mound off of his right knee. Here's a look at that last delivery, which will run the count to 2-2. Well, he got his feet caught together, or he tripped over his own feet.
Either that, or he got his spikes caught in the mud. Now it's 2-2 on Clark. High and deep to right field, no doubt about it. Number 23 for Tony Clark. And it's 10-3 Yankees. I mean, it was a breaking ball low and in. And left-handers love the low and in pitch that they can power out of the ballpark. Of course, the Yankee fans throwing the ball back, they don't want the home run ball from Clark.
Here's the breaking ball. Oh, man. That had the sound. Certainly had the distance. Wrong team hit it, though. Jeff Nelson's reaction to giving up the home run, he knew it was gone.
And this is Bob Hamlin, the designated hitter. Well, you can see why the Tigers are so high on Tony Clark. A switch hitter with power from both sides. And this kid here, Bob Hamlin, who started his career with Kansas City, had a great year there, won the Rookie of the Year award, and then from that point on he went downhill. They finally gave up on him, and now the Tigers have him, and he's putting up some pretty good numbers for them.
Kind of resurrecting his career in Detroit with the Tigers. Of course, a left-handed hitter with power can get a chance to do some damage at Tiger Stadium. Buddy Bell has liked what he has seen from Hamlin. He has a hit tonight.
And now Nelson with 4 pitches walks Hamlin with 1 out. And Easley will come to the plate. 10-3, the Yankees lead it.
Second baseman,
Easley 0 for 3. He has struck out twice. As we mentioned, the Tigers in for 4 games. ball in the outside corner for a called strike. And another breaking ball. Now it's 0-2. That was one of the things that Joe Torre wanted, along with Mel Stottlemyre, Jeff Nelson, to do, was to not just stay with the breaking ball. Mix in that good fastball, that sinking fastball that you have. That's another breaking ball, foul back and out of play.
Well, that breaking ball, particularly to the left-handed hitters, I mean, it comes up there kind of flat, like the one that Clark did, and that's the one that's really can be hit a long way. To right-handers, it's a little more effective, first of all, because Nelson has that unusual delivery. But when he starts dealing it to too many times to the left-handed hitters, that's when he gets in trouble.
That looks like another breaking ball coming. And it was a breaking ball, but he easily lays off of it. Now it's 1-2. Well, I mentioned the 4-game series. If you're looking ahead, David Cohn, check that Andy Pettit will pitch tomorrow night against Brian Moeller. Foul off to the right side. Continuing on Saturday, that's Old Timers Day here at Yankee Stadium. It will be David Cohn. Justin Thompson was scheduled to pitch, but he has been scratched from that starting role. So that's undecided at this particular time. And then rounding out the 4-game series on Sunday, Dwight Gooden against Willie Blair. That'll be back here on the WB11. Now the foul.
He's shown easily just about everything. Numerous breaking balls, gone back to the sinker. But all through it, Nelson has stayed ahead on the count 1-2 to Easley, who has already struck out a couple of times tonight. So he's staring at the hat trick.
Two balls, 2 strikes. On deck is Curtis Pride. Kelly to Jeter for one, back to first, not in time. Easily has good speed. Took a little bit longer for that play to develop. But they get the lead runner, and there's 2 gone.
Well, they pick up the second out of the inning, getting the lead runner as Bob Hamlin will be erased. See Jeter come across the bag with authority, but easily moves too well down the line. Kelly had to back up originally to take the high hop. Jeter trying to make the double play, can't do it. The hammer was all over him at second base.
So Curtis Pride will step in. What a story this young man is. Breaking ball high and inside. A hearing impaired. Has worked his way to the big leagues and putting up good numbers. Working through those disabilities. And you talk to Curtis, and as far as he is concerned, they are not disabilities.
Some of the things he's accomplished as a graduate of William and Mary College. Played basketball in college along with soccer. Originally from Washington, D.C. Now lives in Florida.
Foul ball, upper deck, left side. One thing that Pride has done, he has worked a lot of times with Larry Herndon, the hitting instructor, on his swing, making it a much more compact swing. Forget about the long ball. Put the ball in play. Make it a short, compact swing. Swing and a miss. Strike 2, 2-2.
Just saw that shot of Larry Herndon, the hitting coach. Did you know that he once hit a ball in the upper deck at Tiger Stadium in straightaway center field? That's the deepest center field in the American League, 440 feet.
440. And to hit the ball into the upper deck, that's got to be 500.
Yep. He and
plus,
Frank Howard, I think, are 2 of the few that have done it. And if I'm not mistaken, he did it on opening day. And I'm not sure if that's true or not, but I know it was early in the season.
3-2, 2 outs, so the runner will be off of this pitch. Here in the 8th inning, 10-3 Yankees lead it. Runner takes off. And Jeter with a nice play and a throw and scooped nicely by Martinez to throw out Pride, who can get down that line in a hurry. So the home run by Tony Clark, his 23rd of the year, but it's 10-3 Yankees.
I know a place.
This is not a country for wimps. We invented the cowboy, the jawbreaker, and the quarterback blitz.
I'll take you there.
And we are rough on our cars. So get a new Chevy Malibu. Your first scheduled tune-up's at 100,000 miles. Engine coolant, 5 years or 150,000 miles. Transmission fluid, forget about it. We're talking the automotive equivalent of Rocky Balboa. The car you knew America could build. The brand new Chevy Malibu.
Oh!
This summer,
The president's plane has been hijacked.
while the world holds its breath,
Nobody does this to the United States.
the fate of a nation
History will judge you by what you do right now.
rests on the courage of one man.
We cannot give in to their demands. It won't end there.
And if you die on that plane, does it end there?
Harrison Ford,
Get off my plane!
Air Force One, rated R. Opens everywhere July 25th.
There's chicken croquet, and there's chicken croquettes from Weaver. Rich, hearty, and filled with flavor. That's what Weaver croquettes are made of. And that's how to eat.
Just paying the minimum on most credit cards could take you more than 30 years to pay them off.
I could still be paying for these when I'm 70.
If you're a homeowner, today's the day to call 1-800-CHAMPION.
And learn how you can have a zero credit card balance on your very next bill.
Today's the day to start saving hundreds of dollars a month with Champions Paid on Your Debt program.
Imagine a zero balance on your very next bill.
It can all begin today. No time like the present.
No day like today.
Can your bank help you today? When your bank says no, Champion says yes.
Well, back at the stadium, let's take a look at the game summary brought to you by your Tri-State Jeep and Eagle dealer. And what a summary it is. Cruz in the third with an RBI single. They took the lead, but the Casanova era led to a Martinez 3-run shot, his 29th of the year. And the Yankees really haven't looked back since that time. Higginson with an RBI single. Williams with a sacrifice fly. O'Neill with a big RBI double in the 5th inning. Hayes with an RBI single. And as we continue, O'Neill again with the bases loaded as the youngster out of the bullpen couldn't find the strike zone, and the Yankees with bases loaded came up with some more runs than the Tony Clark home run in the 8th inning. Matt Wahlbeck now will come in to do the catching for Todd Jones, who is the new pitcher. And O'Neill will be the batter here in the 8th inning. 10-3, the Yankees lead it. Jones, when you say, is he their closer? Well, sometimes. Buddy Bell and Adair have not really chosen kind of a bullpen by committee down there, but Jones with 13 saves, he can blow some smoke too.
He leads the club in saves. Fastball. Let's look at Matt Wahlbeck off the disabled list today. Had a broken hand. He suffered that injury chasing a pop-up. He might look familiar to Hideki Irabu. Because while Irabu was working in the minor leagues, those 6 starts in the minors, we talked, he walked only 1 man. Matt Wahlbeck was the guy that he walked, and it was questionable. In fact, Wahlbeck said those pitches were pretty close.
So Wahlbeck on his rehab assignment, no stranger to Irabu. But he didn't get to start tonight. As we update you on the American League, nobody beats the Wiz scoreboard. 8-4 the final of that game. Boston, Toronto all tied up. Hit out into left field, but Pride is there. And 1 gone for the Yankees here in the 8th. 5-2 Minnesota over Cleveland. That's in the 7th inning. And Kansas City has now scored. It's 5-3 Chicago. Also in the 7th. Big series. Texas and Seattle. No score in the 2nd. And this brings up Cecil Fielder, who is 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts so far in the game. And as Singleton said earlier, he was struck out by 3 different pitchers on this Tiger staff. And the first pitch is down low.
And has not gotten the ball out of the infield. And his other at bat in the second inning, Cecil popped out to second.
Now it's 2-0. 1 out here in the 8th. Got in on the hands, but out of play for Tony Clark. And a souvenir for a fan. And you can see who's the fan that got it. Oh, and he gives it to, I guess, his girlfriend or his wife.
Well, now she is.
I hope it's one of the two. Made the day anyway. Now it's 3-1 on Cecil. And in the National League, how about those Mets? Now they have taken the lead over Atlanta.
Mets were losing 5-1 in that game.
Now Todd Hundley hit a home run. Florida leading Philadelphia 7-5. And Houston shutting out Pittsburgh. Boy, what a year Pittsburgh is having.
Darryl Kyle with his 3rd shutout in that one.
And San Diego and the Dodgers. Breaking ball on 3-2. Catches the outside corner, and fielder has struck out now 4 times. How about this pitch on 3-2, 10-3 lead?
4 times, 4 different pitchers. The golden sombrero. Breaking ball locks him up. Wow.
I don't think I would be expecting a curveball 3-2. No, 1 out, nobody on.
And you're hit by 7. No.
Now that locked me up too. Okay. And Charlie Hayes will step in. Hayes 1 for 3. Couple of RBIs.
Yeah, next time you come to the plate, you see the catcher. Why would you want to do that? You know, you say it to the catcher. He's the one to call the pitch. Of course, the catcher can always say, well, he shook me off.
Yeah, we're working on something.
Yeah, we're working on something. Getting you out.
Yeah, really. Good fastball by Jones. Now it's 2-1.
Yeah, Jones does have a good arm. He worked out in the bullpen for the Houston Astros in a setup role primarily.
Have you ever had the golden sombrero in a game?
No, probably.
You don't have to answer so quick.
Yeah, well, yeah, I remember striking out 5 times in a row over 2 nights in Detroit, of all places.
Well hit, but the third base and Nevin. Well, the Yankees are gone here in the 8th inning. Looks like another pitching change coming on for the Yankees in the 9th, but they've got a commanding lead, 10-3.
The mere act of sipping a cool Starbucks Frappuccino chills and neutralizes the gene that causes irritability. When it is hot, or humid, or both.
There now.
Starbucks Frappuccino. 1 part coffee, 2 parts ice, 3 parts secret cold elixir. Starbucks, purveyors of coffee, tea, and sanity.
The Michelin X1, with a 6-year unlimited mileage tread life warranty, gives you better wet traction than any rain tire, plus Michelin control in most driving conditions. After all, it hasn't rained that much in years.
Summer's come too soon again. Windows steam, streets sizzle, sidewalks hiss. I feel my body's water wet and insistent, and I surrender to the heat whose passion knows no mercy. Don't sweat another summer. Check your This Week at Nobody Beats the Wiz circular for cool values on air conditioners, with prices guaranteed to take the heat off. Frost kisses my window with gentle, chill lips, and I dream of summer.
Neither rain nor mud, nor ruts and ridges, nor rocks and rivers, Nor sleet nor snow shall keep a new Toyota 4Runner from keeping you from your appointed rounds. Power you need, and all the room and comfort you want. And with a starting price around $20,000, it could take your dollar even further.
New York Yankees baseball is sponsored by Toyota and your local Toyota dealer. Toyota, I love what you do for me. And by Shell, moving at the speed of life. And by Budweiser Brewery, fresh Budweiser, the official beer of Major League Baseball. And of course, by your Tri-State GMC dealers. And of course, the new pitching change here in the top of the 9th inning for the Yankees. Graham Lloyd, who is from Australia. And he will be pitching to Wallback, batting for the first time in this game.
Switch hitting catcher.
Baseball is truly becoming more and more an international sport with players from all around the country, around the world, that is, looking to play baseball. And baseball looking for new talent. Talent has thinned out here in America, and so they are going worldwide in search of players that can play here in America.
20% of all the players in the major leagues are foreign born.
3-1 count to Wallback. Well, I forget what they said at the All-Star game, how many cultures and different nationalities playing in the All-Star game. Base hit by Wallback. So that'll bring up Davy Cruz. Nobody out here in the 9th. Yankees lead it 10-3. So Joe Torre, after the long 3-day, and 3 days in baseball is a long period of time for players not to play. They lose their timing, and he is trying to get his bullpen some work. Strike one to Cruz.
Graham Lloyd has done a pretty good job this year coming out of bullpen throwing strikes.
This could be two. Kelly to Jeter for one. Back to Martinez. 4-6-3 double play. 2 gone here in the 9th inning.
Well, as opposed to the ball that was hit last inning, this one's hit a little harder. Better chance for the Yankees to turn to double play. Jeter across the bag with authority and to throw to first and plenty of time to get Cruz. As we said, good double play combination in the middle. As Brian Hunter comes to the plate, Graham Lloyd throwing strikes.
And Hunter 0 for 4 with 3 ground outs and a strikeout. And a strike by Lloyd. Lloyd's when he comes out of the bullpen, his expertise is to try to get out a tough left-hander in a difficult situation. Now the count is 1-1. Whoa. Off-speed pitch. Looked like it got away from him. And the mayor here in the 9th inning. Yesterday, he introduced Hideki Irabu down at City Hall to some youngsters, little leaguers, and presented Hideki with one of those crystal big apples. And so a nice gift from the mayor along with his son Andrew. And they got to be happy about what has happened here at Yankee Stadium tonight. Of course, he makes no bones about it. He is a Yankee fan.
You can tell his son is.
Andrew certainly is. In the dirt.
That's Jim Evans. 26 years umpiring in the American League. And he didn't call this one a strike.
And that's down low, ball 4. So Hunter on. That'll bring up the Evans. Nieves struck out in the 7th inning when he hit Bobby Higginson.
Another switch hitter in this Tigers lineup.
I think that was 101 for Nieves. Sends this one deep in the left field and off the wall. Curtis will pick it up. Hunter will stop at third. And with 2 outs, 2 men on here in the 9th inning for the Tigers. And Nevin will get a chance to knock somebody in.
Well, Graham Lloyd, following the walk, comes in with a pitch that is much too fat. Nieves just misses hitting it out of the ballpark off the top of the wall. And a 2-base hit will keep this inning going.
Nieves down at second. This is Phil Nevin, who also struck out when he hit in the 8th inning. And strike one to Nevin. Buddy Bell giving his bench some playing time in this 10-3 game. Out of play now. It's 0-2.
Well, Nevin has played at third base. You've seen him in the outfield. He's also a backup catcher. So a versatile player who we mentioned on an earlier broadcast from
What's he doing here? What is he doing?
Trying to kiss that bat, get it going, talking to it. Former #1 draft pick out of Cal State Fullerton.
What if he takes it to bed with him? Not that bad, he won't. To throw that one away. Strikeout. Yankees win it. And Hideki Irabu. His debut is successful in many aspects. Yankees win it 10-3. What a night for the Yankee fans, and for the 28-year-old from Japan. Wanted to pitch for the Yankees, wouldn't pitch for any other ball club here in America. He gets his wish, and certainly the Yankees are happy about it.
They certainly are. 51,901 fans on hand to see Irabu pitch tonight, and he didn't let him down. 9 strikeouts in 6 2/3 innings.
Yankees win it 10-3. We'll be back with the wrap-up right after this.
Great prices. If you like bargains, check out 10321.
They save over AT&T on every call in the country.
10321 saves me 50% on all calls over 20 minutes.
It could cut your bill in half.
I can call Japan for